So, recap. Does anyone want to do this? Anyone remember? Hugo,
what did we do? We just...
what do you remember about
the last thing Hugo
what happened?
remembers?
I remember that, Francis had the old crumbly dick, and we needed to solve that as long as we wanted him to remain alive.
Yes.
Kat's filled me in that he has one hand now, and no dick.
And a hook hand.
And he has a hook hand now. And also, she mentioned John getting one shot by something, which I just said, classic John.
I mean,
No, Kat actually gave me a pretty good summary of what you guys have been doing.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
I'm like, we just made our way down the chains, and there's a demon versus devil war clusterfuck, which I assume is the blood war, going down below. But we got down there, and that's where the episode will start. So I more or less kind of know what we're up to.
You kind of know what's up. You kind of know what's up. Awesome. Excellent.
I will probably, I will kind of chill and just listen to what's going on at first.
Well, actually, the devil demon war is kind of a metaphor for the Israeli-Palestine conflict. So we're going to be talking about that for about the first hour and a half.
Lord.
It's okay, Craig, because
we're going to get real complex.
Craig, I'm level 6, so I can use white phosphorus now. So we're fine.
Oh no!
2022.
El Terrell is the largest open-air prison, so that is that's pretty accurate. Hi, welcome to Descent into Avernus. It's New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Wait, that's when we're starting?
Yeah, oh fuck yeah. Some of
no.
us are doing much better than others, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But guess what? Gang's all here. Some of us don't have cameras on. Some of us are sitting on floors in new locations and don't have chairs yet. It's fine. We're all gonna play Dungeons and Dragons because we make it work. So yeah, that was a pretty good recap. I appreciate that. Does anyone want to do the devil's in the details on the last thing that we had done? I will grant you an inspiration point to utilize in the game.
Well, I already have one, so I'm.
So you don't need.
True.
It's not worth my.
Try to incentivize, You just try to incentivize.
I've got steady aim, so who cares?
Who needs
That's
it? Yeah.
actually factual. I hate that.
And I've got action search now as well.
Oh god.
I like the chaos of not having a 20 to rely on.
Oh no, it's just an advantage. It's not a 20.
Oh, it's advantage. Okay.
Yeah. So not even that good.
You get to roll the D40 for a
If I can recall, and again, pardon my recollections here, but we
Mm.
killed a Nazargon that V tried to screw around with. Didn't give the shield. Smart, very smart. For some reason, didn't run from the giant monster man. Killed the giant monster man. His name was Jim. He had some orders on him. Then we went to the side of El Terrell. Francis almost lost another hand. And then we climbed down. There was a big battle. No one saw us, and now we're there.
And now we're there.
Just to check, nothing bad happened to my boy Rock the Vrock, right?
We have not seen Rock the Vrock.
Nice.
Recently.
80% of my notes are just about Rock the Vrock.
I heart Vrock.
It's like little doodles in my notepad.
Can you smell what the Vrock is cooking?
Hugo and Rock and just a little heart. Oh god. That's close enough. We find ourselves at the bottom of these enormous black iron chains with these spikes on them that were, thankfully enough, good handholds. Pretty good handholds. And you're down at the bottom of these pillars that have strapped El Terrell to the surface of Avernus and is dragging it steadily downwards into the river Styx. Armored legions of devils encircle the enormous post of infernal iron that anchors El Terrell to the rocky ground. Squads of demons fighting 10 deep in some places hurl themselves into the devil's ranks. Most of these abyssal troops are lowly mains and dretches who die quickly in vain attempts to drag down devils so stronger demons behind them can strike killing blows. A dark river cuts the path through the blasted landscape and flows directly beneath the city. This is the river Styx. Floating on the river are demonic barges being assailed by squadrons of winged devils under the command of a terrifying pit fiend wearing an eyeless helm and clutching a battle standard. So this is what a pit fiend looks like, because I think everyone needs to know that. Oops, I
Cute,
didn't
though.
even hit the button on this.
Kind of cute.
I assume
Yeah,
he's like
if he
3
were
feet
small,
tall.
if he were small, he would be kind of like but-
Yeah, but not small. Unfortunately, not small. Yeah. So you find yourselves at the bottom of this pillar, and all of these devils are facing outwards, surrounding the pillar, defending it from the incursion by all of these demons. What do you want to do? They haven't seemed to have noticed you yet, but I mean, it's only a matter of time or a matter of noise before they actually do.
Well, I think I assume we all want to just run away.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to join in the fight?
I would like to cast Bubble and use my Hearthstone. Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's run.
Let's
Is there
run.
is there space?
Hello,
I
everyone.
assume
Where
not.
do we run?
Oh man, that's right. We didn't put that in the recap, did we? So yes, in Elturel, there were portions of the adventure there that recovered some of Lulu's lost memory. She remembered being at a place known as Fort Knucklebone, about 10 miles away from Elturel, where she had kindness gifted to her by a couple of Kenku. Not really sure about anything other than that. Other than it's called Fort Knucklebone, and yeah, the Kenku have names like, wait, what was their name? It was like Clank and
Chunka
something.
and Clonk.
Chukka and Clonk. That's right. God, Clank. Might as well be Clank. Chukka and Clonk. So Lulu has advised that you go there. Fortunately, of course, descending Elturel on the correct side of the river, that we don't have, to cross it, because that would be terrifying. Yeah, you're supposed to head towards Fort Knucklebone. That's what Lulu thinks will lead you to.
The old 10-mile runaway.
Yeah,
Nice.
the old 10-mile runaway across Avernus.
The half-marathon runaway. Yes.
Because you're looking for the last known location of Zariel's sword. There was a whole like dream sequence and being trapped in this helm, and Duke Ulder Ravengard falling unconscious and being possessed by both god and demon. It was a whole thing. And Francis got his rotting dick cured.
Oh, the old crumbly.
Joining in this soul.
Canon.
It's
He now has a hook dick made of spoons.
dick.
No.
That's how I climbed down.
Oh no. Yeah, so there is chaos around you here. What is your idea of getting away from this?
Well, I assume is there like it's not like a whole circle of devils around us
It
fighting
is.
the demons.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
there's no gap or anything that we could run through.
Well, so that's the thing. Roll me an insight check.
All right.
I want an insight check. You're going to take some insight into the battle that is happening around you.
14.
Not bad. Every once in a while, it's these demons, fluctuate like a wave. It was probably like while you're coming down and looking over the battlefield from the pillar that you were scaling, you look down and like they flow like a tide. Like more will surge against one side and some of the devils will break. And there will be distraction over there, and they'll focus their energy in that direction. And you kind of watch as it rather chaotically assaults each side of this circle a bit randomly. But each of those surges could provide enough distraction for you to get out.
Well, I would relay that, and perhaps maybe we could just sort of move quickly between the ranks and get away.
Could attempt to do that.
Possibly.
Hopefully they don't notice
That
your
seems-
non-devilish forms.
That seems somewhat suicidal. Although they do seem rather engaged with each other, perhaps they wouldn't care too much for us, although that may be wishful thinking given the scenario.
Just dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. We should be all right.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge an eternal demon war.
True.
don't think we have much of a choice. I think we just have to go and hope for the best.
Although, if we want a distraction, I do have some of everybody's favorites remaining.
Yes. The beans.
Why is it that like the first day you're back after like a month? This
like, I
is
gotta
the
use this,
choice.
okay?
This is
Bean
the
speed run.
He's like, yeah, man, I'm super excited. I get to like be around for a lot of the new year, and that you're gonna just like destroy the game. I mean, that's fine. We could totally do that.
Okay, everyone. God told me off about the beans. I think it's a bad idea.
The beans. Do the beans.
Oh god. If you want to.
Do
you're more
one,
than
and
welcome.
then we can run.
We could get the
Well,
screaming plants again.
Yes,
also get,
that's what I was thinking
monsters
of.
that attack us, or
The screaming, well, they might attack the other things, or maybe we can run them into them and cause a distraction. I don't know. But I was thinking of the screaming mushrooms that erupted from the floor. Although, wait, we'd actually be where they erupted, so that might be quite a bad idea.
You see, it
Rest
could
of that
also
looks in
just
awe.
draw attention to yourself.
Maybe they'd like the blue campfire.
Maybe they would like the blue campfire. God damn it.
Maybe it would soothe their raging cells.
So, Hugo
could
brings
try
up the
it if you'd
beans.
like.
This could be a distraction. Party, what do you think?
I mean, I feel like we could just, draw our hoods over our heads and slip between their ranks and,
I think
move
I'm up for trying that. I mean, I'm probably one of the better people at doing that, but
I
Why don't
can
we try
run really
to-
fast.
We can try to run through, and then if it doesn't work, I mean, you could use the beans as a distraction at that point.
that's true. I don't know if you've ever tried to do gardening in the middle of a battle, but it is quite difficult at the best of times.
Well, I can turn myself invisible as well, I should say.
That is a thing you can do, yes.
That seems relevant, given the
And I could
situation.
turn one additional person. Perhaps Lulu I should turn invisible. She's quite
I
obviously...
could totally be invisible. That'd be great.
Perhaps you should choose Trescott. He seems to have a little bit of issues with that heavy armor.
I agree. Lulu can fly. She will likely have less of an
That's true.
issue getting
That's
over
true.
them.
Yes.
Oh, I guess that's true.
At this point, I'm just rummaging through my pack, and I look around. Is there any this is completely guessing, but is there any sort of large dead trees or anything flammable in a vicinity that could be set on fire to cause? I would guess a lot of things are on fire down here. Really, they probably wouldn't care too much. But
Just casual day.
I think
I mean, the river's on fire.
The issue
so-
being is it's kind of hard to see through the ranks of demons and devils that surround this
Yeah.
place. You would have probably had a better vantage point from climbing down the tower, but it would have been hard to, set anything aflame here.
I just
also,
like-
looking around, you watch as a meteor falls from the sky and crashes into the ground, and no one blinks an eye. It's kind of a normal thing.
I just casually slip the flask of alchemy fire back into my backpack, and I'm like, one day, my friend, one day.
We will use this at some point in time. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just try and make the, essentially a stealth check, being as surreptitious as possible to slip through an active battlefield, sure, that is entirely an option.
Well, perhaps we should debate the merits of the stealthy approach versus the absolutely fucking legged approach.
Well, I think
Well,
stealthy
I
until we
think
need
we
the
could
leg.
use. I think we could kind of use both. I'm super duper fast, and I'm pretty skilled at flexing my body and contorting it. So I could probably, just really run through these demons, and while I'm doing that, everyone else could be sneaky.
That might work.
I believe in myself.
And I also, and she clicks her heels together, and she teleports just slightly to the different point. This is
A little bit to
unlimited. I can just keep going and zipping around, and they don't think they'll be able to catch me.
Every day that passes, I realize more and more that I am a man with a bow in the company of you people.
Zach.
Well, I think essentially we all have enough tools to survive this. I think we should be fine. But I will make myself and Trescott invisible.
Yeah, that's the only tool I have, so thank you for that.
He just got himself a silver sword, so he's feeling pretty good.
Feeling good.
Okay. So, Francis, you cast your spell. Trescott and yourself become invisible Cyrus, you plan to run. Hugo, what's the deal?
I'm gonna sneakily kind of dip, duck, and dive, and run through them with the others. Well, fairly close to Cyrus. I'm not as fast as him, but I am pretty fast.
You are pretty fast.
I'm kind of like equating my cunning action to I can run and dodge pretty quickly, right?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, so
it's kind of his step of the wind. It's very similar.
Yes, and I also have psionic energy if anything does go wrong, but we'll see.
It's true. That is very true. Okay, yeah, so who makes the first move from the group to try and get through the crowd?
That would
Cyrus.
probably be me.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you just want to leg it. You're just going to book it through in what you
Yes,
think is the general direction of Fort Knucklebone.
Yeah, I would be dashing like an MF.
Yeah, I'd very much so be utilizing his wake if I can. If they're turning to look at him,
Okay.
they're not looking at me.
What I want you to do is roll me an insight check to find the next opening.
Hello.
Oh, Justin, you okay?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, there you go.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Insight
Would
check.
you like to roll an insight check?
Chief.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay. So you're like, yeah, okay. Francis said, there's this, wave of demons, and it kind of opens up a distraction, and that looks like one. And you sprint towards the wall of devils and demons at the edge here. In no attempt to be stealthy, your half-angelic form somewhat shines in the constant dim light of Avernus. What are you doing to avoid every opportunity attack as you sprint through this?
So there's this thing that I used to do a lot in high school and middle school because I was one of those
Get the
loser
shit
kids.
kicked out of you.
I would I would I didn't need to do this, but I would fucking just run through the halls because I always wanted to get like the first seat in class because I'm
You were the running
loser.
kid?
He was
Yeah.
the running
You were the
kid,
running kid!
Wait.
He was the running kid.
I did not do that like cringy ninja stuff though.
No,
I
but
literally
you
Animated.
did
You
run
didn't
through
Naruto run?
No, God, that's ridiculous. Absolutely not. Very
you
inefficient.
ran to class.
Yes, I did.
Justin just
Whoa.
liked institutional learning. There's
He's gone.
So you're running. I understand that. How does that stop every demon and devil that notices you
Well,
from
they'll
lashing
know that
out?
he has to get to class.
No,
they won't
so
hit him.
so I cut out a little bit. What I did is I was because I'm a thin piece of cardboard, man. I've like my profile is like a line, dude. So I would legitimately just slip between people who
Right.
were like having conversations if there wasn't enough room.
Bro,
So he's-
and I
you were
guess
he's
I
gonna,
was
like-
completely doing that because I figured because I figured
gonna, like,
they were
dance.
if they're engaged in battle, right? My hope is that they're all already kind of using their attacks and things like that. So just running through.
Running and hoping.
I'd be acrobatic about it, is what I'm saying. I'd be like contorting my body and stuff, making sure I don't get hit as best as I can.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw. You know
This is
what?
going to
Go
go
ahead and roll
great.
me like 3 of these. As you
Oh,
run
bullshit.
through the line.
All right, I
Oh.
got a 16, a nat 1, and a nat 20.
Yeah, we're all over the damn place.
It's like a middling.
They're
Terrible,
definitely not
perfect.
focused on you. The battle here is between the demons and the devils, but some of them in the chaos, they just see someone running by and like they just lash out, right? Like cuz they do this to their own friends. Like the demons they see something move and they just claw out at it. Pretty successfully you avoid most of the issue, but you do happen to get clawed across for about 13 points of damage as these, you run past 30 some odd enemies. Like, until you get to the other side and break out into the open plains of Avernus.
Just chill. I did it.
So, noting this, Hugo, you get to follow
Yes.
in the wake. Is this the same
that's
thing you're
very
trying to
much
do?
Well, I'm basically trying to follow in the footsteps of people who have tried to swing at Cyrus, and then they can't swing at me because of it.
Sure.
I would be doing it like somewhat stealthily to follow behind, though, I guess.
Stealthily negates you being able to move as fast as he is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem. If you wanted to just try and be surreptitious about it,
I would do it somewhat stealthily.
Okay, so in
Hugo
that
wouldn't
case,
throw
you're
himself
doing
through.
this much more slowly, but you're utilizing the distraction that he has created
Yeah.
to move unseen through the crowd.
Yeah, I would say I'm very actively looking for, like, you know, sort of like people engaged in duels almost as like my next opening to slip through, as a kind of, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Cyrus would be the largest cause of that, so that's why I'm following in his wake.
So this is a stealth check for you.
Okay.
It's just going to take you longer to get to the other side, but depending on the roll, you might avoid all conflict in general.
It's a 16, and
16.
I'm gonna add a psionic power to it as well.
Okay, yeah.
Which is...
I like how you rolled a 16, but you actually rolled a 5.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
plus
I'm pretty
11
good at
is
stealth.
pretty nasty, huh?
So it's an unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. One devil thinks they notice you, and you give them the psionic hand wave of "you don't see anything," and continue
Psychic
through
whisper
the
of fuck off.
yeah, and you continue through the crowd as its head gets taken off by a demon flying through the air. So
What it gets for being distracted.
pretty good, and you kind of pop out, you know, hood pulled low on the other side of this, and you see Cyrus sprinting across the plains of Avernus, 60 feet ahead of you, just booking it.
I was gonna like kind of once I feel like I'm a safe distance, I'm gonna wait for my friends. You think I'm going deeper into hell without them?
Gone.
Well, let me provide some context for
Justin,
you
know
as you
yes.
blew through the area here. The pit fiend that is flying around, directing some of the flying forces of devils, absolutely noticed you. A contingent of these flying spine devils has been dispatched to your location as you sprint across the plains. Somewhere around the ballpark, about 15 of them have taken off after Cyrus. So,
Interesting.
Hugo, you see this as you come out the other side. He is running, and maybe he can loop around to get some help from friends. Trescott and Francis, you're both invisible, trying
That's right.
to push through here. I'm assuming stealthily, just to not be noticed. Shouldn't be too difficult. These are all dexterity or all stealth checks with advantage.
Well, just before that, when I come out the other side and I see what's happening to Cyrus, I would actually use Psychic Whispers and say to Cyrus, delay them as long as you can and loop back around to me when the others arrive. And I will find a place to hunker down with my bow out.
All right. So am I allowed to use my action, quote unquote, to dash, as well as use my bonus action from Step of the Wind to dash?
You've already done that. That was like what you were doing.
Oh, I gotta lose a key point then.
Yeah. That's how you did all of this already.
Because that would be what, like 180 feet?
Yeah, pretty much. So like what we would do is we would call the intervening like 60 feet worth of battle lines, right? That's all difficult terrain. Even with Step of the Wind, like that was hard for you to get through. That's all of those dexterity saves and things like that. So you've just popped out the other side, roughly, 60 feet out that way, and now we see all of these flying devils
I need to roll
swooping in that direction, right? So you've
Wait,
already
does that mean I
done
can-
your thing.
Does that mean technically Cyrus right now can run 30 feet a second?
Yes, you're very fast with Step of the Wind.
Okay, that's even faster than I thought. That's
You're very
sick.
fast.
Justin, just so you know, we can speak telepathically for the next 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Nice. All right, I will
Send
do
your
my
good
best
morning
to follow
texts.
the instructions.
Exactly. Good
Okay.
night, sweetie.
So, again, we're kind of just taking everyone's turn at a time here, right? So Cyrus has booked it out there. Devils are flying in. Hugo has made some telepathic connection. You see the spine devils. You've given a suggestion to find a place to circle around and maybe hunker down somewhere. So Hugo, roll me a perception check. Let's see if you can't find something close enough by. Francis and Trescott, you're both invisible, right? So
Yes, sir.
stealth checks
You
to get
better.
through the combat here with advantage. Doesn't matter about your heavy armor or anything like that, so roll with advantage.
21.
21, 14.
14.
Nice. Actually, not entirely too bad. As a group check between the two of you, I think you actually get through relatively easily because they just can't see you. There's nothing to see there. If you bumped against someone, maybe they turn around and lash out at a devil next to them or a demon or something like that. But like, you're not there for them to even recognize.
If I fail with a 12, because I just reread my knack, and it's when I fail a check using a skill or tool I have proficiency in. So if I don't manage to see anything, I'll add a knack to it.
Oh, this wasn't necessarily a pass or a fail thing. This was a, can I locate a large enough rock for me to hunker down behind? Right. And on this blasted landscape full of craters and meteors that have fallen from the sky, yeah. You can find a couple rocks to hide behind. That's not really an issue. The 12 was, can I find one close enough that Cyrus doesn't have to run circles forever? Yeah, 12 is good enough for that. So you're going to go find yourself a rock to hunker down behind to hope that Cyrus, eventually runs these devils either towards you or get your group together. How do you indicate where you're going to your compatriots? And V, we will get to how you get through here in just a second.
That's a good question.
I'm full of good questions.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the honest answer is I would probably be so busy hunkering down behind these rocks, I probably wouldn't have at this point.
Okay. Yeah, you're just like, okay, rocks, I'm good here. Cyrus would know because you literally just telepathically tell him.
Yeah.
But the rest of the party may not be super aware of where you went.
Well, see, I would largely be relying on Cyrus to loop round to me when the party emerged, so...
Okay.
Basically, I'm blaming Cyrus.
Love that for you. So, V, your two invisible friends you think have made their way away. Hugo disappeared into the crowd, and Cyrus literally ran through an entire army.
Yeah.
What do you want to do here?
So I have a question before I do this.
Yes.
I do believe I have 15 more minutes on my 23 strength for the potion that I had when we went down.
You popped the potion going down the pillar, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got time.
I think I have a little bit more time left. Okay,
God,
so I just want to double check that because that does change things. So I think it would be super great to blink around like a crazy person. So I would like to follow Cyrus and blink to like where I see all of his creatures, and I would like to blink in front of one and try to shove a bunch of them back like dominoes to like as he's running away with my 23 strength. I really want to just shove them like dominoes and like blink in front and then just be like pfft.
What's the distance on your blink?
15 feet, but
how often do you get to use it?
As often. It's bonus action.
Right, so it's once every 6 seconds.
Is it? Okay, once every 6 seconds. So I would like to use it once every 6 seconds.
6 seconds is a long time when it comes to this, right? Cyrus ran all the way through this and away from it in 6 seconds.
I would like to then run as much. If I see anything coming at, I will blink into a clear area.
Okay.
And I would like to try to catch up ultimately to Cyrus and protect him. So I'm like, and then like someone would be like, oh, I'll come after you, and then I'll like blink a little bit forward and be like, bye.
Okay. So
if possible,
you run at the battle lines. Are you trying to just shove your way through?
I think I'm trying to like get through as like even if something closes, I want to like.
Sure. Yeah, you're trying to barrel your way through. That's what I want to get out of this. Is how are you trying to get through the battle lines here?
V does a transformer, turns into a steam train, and just linebackers herself through the.
There is actually opportunity for that later. 20
so
looks
I
good.
do get. Also, it's like a 24, right? 23 strength is
23
what
strength
modifier?
is plus
5 plus 5.
Plus
6.
Plus 6. Okay, so 25 then.
So, V, you hit the battle lines behind the devils like a bowling ball and blast a few of them out of the way, and the demons behind that are, you know, in a wave swelling up into this location, coming to the end of the amount that you're able to shove through here. You blink forward just a little bit. Roll me another athletics check as you appear in the center of all of the demon surge.
15.
15's pretty good. You shove and push your way through. They're going to be able to claw out at you here as you do this, as you shove through the crowd. It's 10 points of damage from basically just a mound of demons attacking you at the same time. Give me one more shove with the athletics to bust out the other side. Okay.
18.
Yeah.
Math.
The minor demons here don't stand a chance between you just shoving them off and away. You like tear them off of your body as you move through here. Yeah, just throwing them around. And you realize that Cyrus is very fast, and he is already very far away. And you get to the other side of here, tearing off one of these other, like, you know, dretches or something like that, tossing them to the ground. And you look up and you see that there are 15 spine devils swooping through the air towards Cyrus's location. It does look like, even though they can fly, Cyrus is faster. He is very fast. And he also seems to be looping around to a location a bit further out, about 60 feet away from this battle line here. There is a couple of rocks, kind of look like a triangle shape of these big rocks, and he seems to be looping them in that direction. What do you want to do?
I mean, I would definitely head towards that direction. Can I cast like spell while I'm moving, or is it just as
if you so that's the thing. Again, we're kind of like in a mock turn order here, just like doing that. So it would mean you don't dash. It just means you run and then you cast a spell.
I think I would rather dash. I think I would rather try to get up and closer
as close to that as you could.
That as possible, and blink with every 6 seconds.
So in that round, it means you would go, what, 60 feet and then another 15 with the blink?
Yes.
Okay, so 75 total, meaning you get pretty close to the rocks. I think for this, Francis and Trescott, as you kind of like, you know, meander your way through here and come out the other side and, you know, invisibly, hands on hips, take a look around, completely unperturbed with the situation here. You see Cyrus running, and you see V also sprinting and blinking away. As demons are tossed about. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Trescott would follow his friends.
I guess I would kind of stay far back, but follow V and Cyrus as best I could. But I don't know. I don't want to get too close. I'm just trying to stay back a bit, I guess. But I guess I probably lost Trescott as well. And you know, I have no idea.
Oh, Trescott, does Trescott like say words to you as you get out on the other side?
Once we're out like of the battling, I would.
Yeah, you're like on the other side, and like it's just surging behind you. You're like 20 feet out away from it, just kind of hanging out, looking at things.
Okay. Well, if we're still together, then I would say to Trescott, should we just follow V and Cyrus?
This happens quite a bit, doesn't it?
More often than I'd like, I suppose.
I suppose we should.
I suppose we should.
Suppose we should, Joe.
Okay. And in the supposition that we should, you know what? Lulu's probably hanging out with V. I think that would be the only person that she could actually keep up with. And she's flapping her wings through the air. Here's, go V, go! We find ourselves in kind of a situation that looks a little bit like this. Go ahead and roll me some initiative for this.
Nice.
Cyrus has looped around. Hugo has taken up a position behind a rock here on the right-hand side of the screen. I've kind of got you guys off to the side. Trescott and Francis, you would be a little bit further off. You're a little bit further behind, but, you know, this puts you in a location that you can see some things. And yeah, we are heading towards the rocks.
Trescott's initiatives
Brock the
are
rock.
amazing.
Brock is a rock. Wait, rock is a rock. Brock a rock.
Ragnarok?
Ragnarok.
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 Don't forget
Surely
to like
okay.
and subscribe.
I
everyone.
am not okay. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna start marking these with different colors, so they're gonna be like different teams. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really. I didn't realize how many
Green
of these there
team.
were. So there's gonna be red team, blue team, green team, and orange team. It's totally fine. Everyone else click on their tokens before they did the thing. I love it. Yes, fantastic. Look at you all. Great. At the top, V. As you are blinking and running and going as fast as you possibly can. Fortunately, Lulu has a fly speed of 120 feet, so she is zipping through the air
She's out.
here. You note that Cyrus seems to be making his run in this direction. You were making your run kind of like trying to angle off, right, to catch up.
Mhm.
So this is the direction you were going, this is the direction he was going, and that's what you see.
So I just see all of these things like go in.
Yeah, these are all flying spine devils. You've seen plenty of them before. They tend to throw their spiny tail spines out from the sky to try and perforate their enemies.
So I would yell out and be like, Cyrus, this way. And I would probably try to get as close as I possibly can. It's not showing me the distance, which is weird. That's what I'm trying to get.
The little measurement tool?
Yeah, the ruler is not working.
Where do you want to go?
For me.
I would like to get as towards Cyrus.
You just want to go this
35.
direction.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a big rock here. Can't really go through that, but anything right here, 35 feet, you can absolutely go like that.
Roll
Did
20.
Roll 20
might
do the
have been.
thing?
I think it's like just freaking out.
Go ahead and give it a refresh.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to probably use my. I'd probably get up to one of the devils if I can, or is it distance?
So they're all flying. So they are.
Oh, they're flying.
80 feet
Got
away
it.
from you, flying, 20 to 30 feet in the air, like
Fair.
like a bunch of the flying monkeys from whatever the fuck that movie is.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that. And they're all just chasing down Cyrus.
All right.
I'll get you, my pretty.
I will cast Magic Missile then on the one that I see is closest to me, and it's
Sure.
loading the map. But I'm just gonna do
red
this.
leader
Red
out
leader.
here. So give me
Red
that
leader
one. I
standing
need
by.
2 more of those.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. 11 total points against as the magical missiles slam into the creature. It notices, yells out something in Infernal, which Cyrus, you would understand to be, hey, there's more over there. And, maybe that distracts them. We'll have to find out. And V, you said you wanted to move 35-ish feet closer?
35 feet-ish closer to Cyrus. That I still can't
that
see
way.
anything, but yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Excellent. Blue team standing by. Blue team swoops forward, begins to toss out their spines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against Cyrus. Cyrus, these do all count as projectiles if you ever want to do monk stuff to them.
Yeah.
It is a 16, a 19, a
just a
22, a 6, a natural 20, and a 21. Yes, it is a reaction to utilize this. The way that works is you roll on your martial arts die or something like that, and add your level to it, and then your dex mod as well, and it negates whatever that damage is. And then if you negate all of the damage, you catch the thing and you can throw it back if you choose to.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it's 1d10 plus dex mod plus monk level.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are going to hit.
I can only use my reaction on one, right?
On one of them. Would you
Wait, they're all above 19? Goddamn.
So they get 2 tail spines each, and it was a 16, 19, 22, 6, natural 20, and a 21.
Oh, okay.
So yes.
I'm gonna attempt to catch the one that
does the most damage, or the
well, I'm gonna that looks like it's going the fastest, aka the crit.
the crit. Okay, excellent. Yeah, go ahead and roll it for me. And then we'll total up after that. Oh,
Wow, that's horse crap.
Okay.
Plus dex mod is 4, so that's 6. What the hell level am I? 6.
5 right now.
Wait, what?
We're level 5 right now, right?
6.
6.
Six.
Oh god, it is 6.
All right.
We're good.
So it's 12 total.
12 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You negate all but 1 point of the fire damage as the crit hits you. So you catch that one, but it burns your hand there. Unfortunately, the other 3 are still going to hit for a total of 14 piercing and 8 fire damage as they swoop ever closer. Hugo, what would you like to do?
Standing up, can I see? I know they're up in the air. I probably can. I assume. Can I see them over the rock? Basically, how big is the rock I'm next to?
The rock that you're next to will probably give it, like, at its apex point, roughly 10 feet, right? So pretty big rock. Some of them are up higher, but, like, again, vantage point wise, you probably have to, like, back up, and then you'd be able to see some of the ones up higher in the air. These up in front here, unfortunately, the blue ones have swooped lower, so they can get their tail spines off. But some of the back ones are probably still accessible.
I mean, I'll pretty much just step out, like, 10 feet to kind of have a clearer view.
Yeah.
And I'll start shooting at I'll shoot at the central blue one here first.
Blue leader.
Blue leader. That will be a 30 to hit.
Yeah, okay.
For 14 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, it is. Jesus Christ. It's still up. Somehow.
I will action surge and shoot at him again.
Okay.
Because I'm a level 2 fighter now. Yay.
Yes, you are.
And that is only a 17 to hit.
That's still plenty. And it does 8, which is perfectly enough to kill this one as it takes 2 arrows, pop, pop, directly into his chest, and Blue Leader goes crashing into the sands.
Yeah, I guess from there, I'm actually just going to use... you know what? No, I've got a couple people to... I'll actually just end my turn now. I will prepare for my next turn.
Excellent. Let's see who this is. Green Leader! Oh boy. Green Leader is going to have Green Team take a swooping run in this direction. Because they can fly pretty far.
A flanking maneuver!
A flanking maneuver! And they're going to tail spine outwards here. The fly speed is actually pretty far. Okay. We're going to send 2 at Cyrus, 2 at V, and 2 at Hugo. The 2 at V and Hugo are at disadvantage. The one on Cyrus here, unfortunately, is standard, but is a 14 and a 17, so both will miss as Cyrus dodges nimbly out of the way of both. The 2 at V is a 14-13 as they clatter across her armor, and the last 2 against Hugo are 6 and 6 as they just eat the sand. Not enough distance to reach him here. Cyrus.
Yeah, so initially I planned on like turning around and like firing off some stun bolts. Yeah, F that. I'm gonna go ahead
There's
and
a lot of...
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
use the grappling hook.
I don't have the grappling hook anymore. It freaking broke.
Oh.
Use the spoon dick.
That's not mine. I'm using I am using a key point, and I'm gonna use my action to dash, and my bonus action to dash.
Where you going, son?
I'm going as far away as I can because I'm at 2.
Let's run through me. I don't mind.
Yeah, just
So that's the edge of the map is 65 feet. You have 120-foot move speed.
Wait, is it not 180?
What's your base speed is 40,
Even
right?
better.
My base speed is 45.
Oh. So it'd be 45, 90, and then 135.
he's just
Oh,
going
that's
around
smart.
the whole map, like just.
Yeah.
No, I'm not planning on looping. I'm running. I got shot in the back. I look like I lost the fight with the porcupine, dude. I'm hurt.
So Cyrus, you're gonna have to keep track of how far away you are.
Okay.
Cyrus continues running through you, Hugo, directly by you, kicking up sand and dirt and rock as he sprints behind you, somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 feet.
Okay.
Cool. That's my turn.
Red team comes swooping around this direction. Their target rather clear. All 8 of the attacks will end up being against V. 16, 8, 6, 22, 11, 6, 16, and 13. I think the 22 is the only one that gets
One of
the
them,
hit in
yeah.
here.
I was like, one of
For
them
4
got me.
piercing and 1 fire as it finally finds like a little, at any of the space behind the shield and armor that you wear.
Okay.
Francis, you guys are kind of off to the side here, Trescott and you. We're gonna say it's likely 20 feet out, off from where you are, but you're heading this direction. So what do you want to do? You do see all of this happening. That's entirely there, but you're just kind of
so
off
I
to
guess
the
as we're
side.
sort of like jogging up, I would say to Trescott, should we get involved and help here?
If you could take them out of the sky, we can help, but I'm kind of useless when they're in the air.
Oh, I can take them out. I don't say it like that. Actually.
That wasn't
Jeez.
creepy at all.
Avernus is really getting to him.
I only get.
What are you talking about? He's always been Captain Villers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
do you
I think
think?
just for Trescott's benefit, so I will move 30 feet closer.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Trescott, our invisibility drops as I begin to cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Oh, here we go.
Has a range of 120 feet.
Yeah.
And it's a 30-foot cube, so we don't need to. So it would just be like that. This is the best I can do. Would be getting these lads all here.
All the lads.
Yeah. So it's a wisdom save, and it's a 14 is the DC.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it's gonna hit all these dudes in here. All 4 of them. Wisdom save. They do not have magical resistance. Oh, wait, they do. Oh, shit.
Joel!
Oh, no. 3, 4. 4 saves at advantage.
Wow.
2 will still fail.
Okay.
So we'll
I have
call it
something to whack.
2 on red team here as they go collapsing out of the sky and hit the ground.
Do they take any damage?
Absolutely.
When they hit
They'll take, they're roughly, we'll call them 30 feet in the air. They'll take 3d6 worth of bludgeoning damages. Wow, they both take 14 total points of damage.
Does that wake them up?
It does wake them
Fortunately,
up.
They are resistant to that type of damage.
the ground? What, falling out the sky? They're resistant to falling? Fuck's sake.
Well, it does say particularly with weapons. So you know what? Maybe not. They'll take the full thing. Why not? And they hit the ground rather hard. Yeah. So 2 of them are on the ground. And you are now no longer invisible.
That's the best I could do, Trescott. It's all on you now. Protect me and save our friends.
I mean, it's gonna take me a while to get there, but what I do?
But that ends my turn, Joel.
Excellent. Yellow team, or orange team, I suppose, swoops forward. And they are going to do very similar things here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 for V and 1, 2, 3 for Hugo. Hugo, you are still in the disadvantage range. That's fortunate for you. For V, 17, 23, and 5. The 23 finds the mark for 4 piercing, 3 fire damage. 15, 10, and fortunately, because of the disadvantage, an 8 rather than a natural 20 against Hugo. So, avoiding most of the damage there as well. Trescott. 2 of them are on the ground. The rest of these bastards are still flying around the air.
All right. Well, I'm gonna dash, I guess, because I literally cannot. If I'm 20 feet off the map from here, that's as far as I can get. So there you go.
As like a dash action?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the full 60 feet right there.
That is, wow. Wow, we
And,
are out here.
Trescott stands there, hoping not to get barbed.
I'm gonna just put this here because this guy's in the air. So you
Oh, I
would
see.
you would
Yes,
know
sorry.
that this
Yep.
man's is on the ground. I will.
I want to hit that man's, but I can't. So
oh,
I'll stand there
I'll put
menacingly.
a boot marker because they're on the ground. Their boots are on the ground. Lulu with 120-foot fly speed.
Surely Lulu's like a fighter race and can shoot like peanuts out of her trunk like a
Got
machine gun or
Vulcan
something.
cannons on her
Yeah.
front.
I mean, she does have some things. She will zip forward. With her memories becoming more and more unlocked, she gains more and more abilities as well. She trumpets out with her victorious style.
Oh no.
And each creature inside the trumpet must make a con save or take a metric fuck ton of thunder damage.
Do 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 do.
Yeah. So she goes. They all do indeed save. And they will take the half of this. Okay. The 17, they'll take the half for 8, 7. God, math is so hard. As she
Half of
trumpets
17.
them. What is half of? What is
8.
half? It's 8. God damn. I was like, it's 16, but 16's too low. And then
We all get a pass. It's the brand new year.
it's 2022, and you know what? My New Year's resolution was never do math again.
No math.
that's for blockers.
No math.
My emote.
And then she's gonna risk the attack of opportunity and go hide behind V. She like lands behind you on your shoulder. It tries to stab out with its pitchfork and does hit her as a 19 to hit for 6 piercing damage as she runs away. It's like the first damage Lulu's ever seen. Look at that. Okay. V.
All right. My roll 20 is still not working, so I'm just gonna
Sure.
like
You
say
just
things and
tell me
figure
what
it out.
you
Yeah.
want to do.
Thank you. You said that taking a potion is a bonus action for your games, right?
If the potion is on your person, yes.
It is. I would like to drink a potion of greater healing,
Sure.
my bonus action. How much is that?
Do you want me to roll it for you? Because it's not working?
Yes, yeah, it's
It'll be 4d4 plus 4. Oh, God, I rolled a lot of ones. I'm sorry. It's 11. 11 total.
Okay.
Damn, I rolled
thank
a
you.
lot of ones.
It's okay. It's, DM thing. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there enough movement speed to get to one of them? Are they in the air still?
2 are on the ground. You do have enough movement speed to get to the 2 on the ground, but the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are in the air.
Okay. I want to have it really kind of cool. Do I have enough movement speed to get near the one of the on the in the air?
There are. How close is near?
Like within 15 feet. Or underneath them. I guess.
Underneath
I have-
one
I
or
have something
multiple?
fun. Yeah, just one.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I just want to have some fun. So I would like to hit my boots to go 15 feet in the air, and then lightning launcher punch them down onto the ground, just smack them down, and I have my.
You want to
20 strength
volleyball spike a spine devil?
I
in
would.
the
I would
air.
go.
Well, don't miss.
With my lightning launcher.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be really neat.
That's a 10.
I missed.
Unfortunately, as you teleport into the air,
cool.
it ducks out of the side here, and you go landing onto the ground 15 feet from up high, so you take
Okay.
the d6 worth of falling damage.
Can I still try to at least land superhero style?
Roll dex
Can
save.
I try? Thank you. I would like at least give me this.
That's a 10. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the earth rather hard.
That would have been cool. Dang.
Cool comes with a cost.
It does. I was worth it. It's fine.
And now you are directly underneath this spine devil and
Yep.
all of its compatriots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Blue team standing by. Blue team's new blue leader. They're going to come rolling around this way to flank up Trescott. Wait a fucking minute. No, they won't, because Trescott, you're still invisible.
No, I'm not.
No.
No, I can't. Hypnotic Parent is a concentration spell.
It
Joel, and
is?
shows
Oh,
invisibilities.
I thought it was
drop concentration.
instantaneous.
I'm
Okay.
afraid not,
And they
Joel.
will. They will turn here.
No.
And 1, 2, 3, 4 spines at Trescott. Thank you for being honest, Craig. I do appreciate that.
That's all right.
It'll be 23, 23, 10, and 7. The two 23s will hit for a total of 11 piercing damage and 4 fire. As the spines perforate your armor. Hugo, V has gotten themselves in a rather precarious position. What do you
Just a
want to
little
do?
Worth it.
Isn't that a good question? I suppose the orange one that is to the north here, got a pretty clear view of. So I'm going to steady aim and take a shot at them.
Sure.
Which is an advantage. So let's say 24 to hit.
24 absolutely hits because of steady aim. You do get your sneak attack bonus on top of this.
With 22 points of damage.
Damn, son. Yeah, the arrow directly through the head and it goes clattering to the ground.
Furious has got the biggest shit-eating smirk on his face at the moment. And then I'm going to fire at the other orange one, not the one that's right next to V, because it's a little obscured, but this one here.
Your multiple attacks coming from what?
I've already action surge. Sorry, I was about to action surge, but I can't do that. Yes. Okay. In that case, I am just going to reposition a little bit over to here, so the other group can't see me as clearly.
Cannot move.
Oh, I can't move. I steady aimed. Yeah.
You basically you get to nuke this dude, and then that's about it.
Well, I always forget that steady aim reduces speed afterwards. I always think of it as if you haven't moved already, but you're right. I can't move after. Okay, yeah, I'll just end my turn though. That's my bonus in act.
Green leader, noticing the damage done here, has the team swoop in.
Ruh-roh.
Stop swooping.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Stop
5,
right there, criminal
6
swoops.
Tail spines towards Hugo. 13, natural 20, 5, 10, 14, 18.
That's a natural 20 and the 18 hit.
2 of these will hit for a total of 11 piercing damage, 6 fire.
Okay. I have a couple of spines sticking out at me.
You do. Cyrus, you are off this map. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do something that I didn't realize I had until the last session. That I'm sure some people, even if they didn't type it, were yelling at me. I'm gonna use Quickened Healing.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a monk ability. As an action, you can spend 2 key points and roll a martial arts die. You regain a number of hit points equal to the number rolled plus your proficiency bonus. I have never used this ability.
I've never even heard of it. I love it. Do it. Hell yeah. Post it in the chat. I want to make sure it's there.
Very dumb.
Post it from your page.
How many key points do you get?
1 million.
It's the amount of level.
Okay.
So I'm down to 2 key points. Martial arts die is a 1d6 right now. So that's 3 plus fucking what was it?
Spend 2 key points, roll a martial arts die, regain number of hit points equal to the number rolled plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proc bone is still. Oh, it's 3. Okay, cool. I get 6 life.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Sweet. I'm at 8 now.
You're at 8. That is your action. You still have movement and bonus action remaining. You are also like 60 feet off of this map.
Actually, I'm 90 feet off of the map. You told me to keep track.
Okay, you're 90 feet off of the map. You are watching your friends get swarmed by spine devils 90 feet behind you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't want to die.
Sure.
I will use my movement to travel back 45 feet closer.
Right.
So now I'm only 45 feet off of the map.
Okay.
Is there a bonus action that I want to use? I don't think there is. You know what? Screw it. There is. Oh, wait. Do I have to use... Why is it not here? Gosh dang it. I just didn't remember if I have to use key points to disengage.
Step of the Wind is your version of that, I believe, which is a key point fueled thing.
No, it. I meant dodge.
Dodge is an action.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying patient defense. I can use a key point to take dodge action.
Oh, understood.
So well.
You're very far away.
Yeah, I should be okay. I'm just gonna hide by a rock.
Sure. You hunker down by a rock.
All right, and that's my turn.
Red team. Seeing Trescott here, the two of them will hobble forward, hopping onto the ground here. They don't move very well once they're not flying, but they still do have a pitchfork and some very sharp teeth. They will try to fork and bite Trescott here while the other flies around to the other side, throwing a couple of tail spines in his back for good measure. It'll be a 10, 6, 25, 20, and 12. So 2 of these will find the mark here. One of the forks, the 2-tined fork, stabbing into you for 1 piercing damage. Love that for me. And one of these tail spines hitting for 6 piercing and 6 fire. As it hits you in the back.
Trescott, you really need some health, man.
Okay. Francis. This one here does look like it is making its way in your general direction, having now noticed you down here on the bottom side. What do you want to do?
Am I actually where I am on the map now?
Yeah, you said you moved forward in the last round. Yeah. You're here.
Okay, I guess I will I will move down behind this desecrated.
It's a bush. Yeah, a little bush.
Thing. And I will fire an Eldritch Blast at the flying one.
Absolutely.
So it's a 19 for
one. Blap. Yeah, it does indeed hit him.
Second to 11.
The 11, it veers out of the way. Unfortunately, does not hit.
I'm not very good at this. And then, I guess I'll, yeah, I will give Bardic Inspiration to Trescott.
Ooh, Trescott, you feel bardically inspired.
Can't wait.
And that ends my turn.
And that ends the turn. Orange team here. Definitely focused on V. Gonna go ahead and just give some tailspine action. Here, 15, 18, 17, 9. As you hunker down behind the shield, they all clatter away from it. Lulu hiding behind you here. Grateful for the protection. Trescott, it is your turn. There are plenty of Spine Devils around, and 2 of them still on the ground, voluntarily getting into melee range with you.
Can't wait to smite the ever-living crap out of these guys. Silvered Longsword, taking a big swing at the one to my west. Let's do it. Whack.
A 10. A 10, unfortunately, does not hit, but you do have a Bardic Inspiration die if you'd like to use it.
Yes, I think this is a perfect opportunity. D8, you said, eh?
I believe it is a D8, yes.
Yeah, it's a D8 now.
Please don't low roll.
7. So 17. As Francis's advice to don't fucking miss rings out in your ears, the sword finds the mark.
Sweet. And I will smite the crap out of it.
Well, roll your damage first. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I see. Okay. Whack.
Yeah.
Oh, it did have the smite there, but...
Yeah, it's okay. We'll take the 10 slashing damage. You note that this one already looks pretty well injured, and you slash through it here rather easily, not expending your
thank you.
precious spell slots.
Lots of spell slots. All right, I will swing again.
Yeah, you got one to your north, still on the ground here.
Don't come into melee range of me. Whack. 15 this time.
A 15 is enough to hit. You note that none of them wear any kind of armor, and again, on the ground, they're not as nimble as they are in the air.
Silvered Longsword attack. Whack, 10.
For another 10. Nice, yeah, plenty.
Love
Slamming into them here. Slaying both of them. Only Red Leader remains.
And I don't really have any bonus actions, so I think I'm going to... What am I gonna do? Everything's in the air. Come down and face me, you fools.
You've got movement, but I don't know if that helps you at all.
It doesn't really. God, I don't know. I guess I'll try and go over here. I guess so. They're all flying, so it's not like I'm attack of opportunity.
Correct.
If I
yeah.
Run below
you
them.
can run directly below them. They're all minimum 15 feet up.
Francis. Run towards us, not away. And I'll run towards V into the fray.
No.
Into the fray.
Lulu sees you arrive and goes, Trescott, hi!
Hi!
Watch this! Zips up over here and is going to blast outwards with another one of these trumpets at all of the Spine Devils in this area. They're all going to have to roll some con saves. 1, 2, 3. Fail. Success. And how many was that again? I haven't gotten to use this very often, so it'll be 5d6. 25
Damn.
thunder damage.
Get him. Get him,
That's a
Lulu.
big max roll. I'm glad I inspired her with the damage.
And
Great,
boom,
Max.
boom, boom. As she blasts all 3 of them out of the air. Wow, that
being
was
carried.
awesome.
Lulu, that was amazing.
And they go crashing into the stones and things at Hugo's feet.
Well, that was rather satisfying.
We're being carried by a tiny elephant.
Sorry, so you're not even here to be carried.
Yeah,
You know what? All I hear is Big Bang. All right, and I see some stuff fall out of the sky.
You hear victorious trumpeting. V.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
All right. There's 2 of the orange guys near me?
Yes, there are 2 in the air, between 15 and 20 feet up.
Okay. You know what? I really want this to work. I'm gonna do it one more time. We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna make this work.
Okay.
I want to be cool.
Okay, Justin.
I-
All right.
Yeah. So cool. And I'm going to go back up there,
Yeah, absolutely.
and this time, please.
That's a 10.
What is it?
It's a 10.
I do actually get 2 hit hacks. I was so busy last time that I wasn't paying
Sure,
attention.
you're so fast that you
So,
totally have a
I
hang
should've
time
had.
that gives you another
I could
attack
just-
in
Well, I was
the
gonna use
air.
bolt. Yeah, totally.
Uh-huh. Roll it.
Uh-huh. It's a 17, please, Joel.
17 does indeed hit. For
Yes.
7, and for 9 total points of
For
lightning
9.
damage. I'm gonna have it roll a strength
Can I
save.
bring this thing going down? I'm bringing him down.
Roll me an athletics check.
All right.
Sure. 17
20
is
something.
slammed into the ground down here.
It's actually like a 22 because she had +6.
Oh, that's
strength.
right. Yeah, the strength. Yeah, so definitely gets slammed down into the ground for 9 lightning and 3 bludgeoning damage. You know what? It's 1 point off. I'm just going to give it to you. Fuck it. You did the thing. You got it. You slam him into the ground and he dies.
Can I and just punch him and then there's like a little crater around?
Sure.
And
Yeah,
stuff, and
there's
she
a
just
there's a
stands
crater.
Back up. She's gonna
We're just an
take,
anime now.
Her
That is V Genos.
Yeah, we're just
her
we're just
lightning
making it an
launcher
anime.
is everything's glowing on him, just pulling it back up, and she's just gonna look at the next one in the air, and she's be like, "Come here."
This one goes.
V used high jump kick. V takes recoil damage.
Yeah, that was really fun. Okay. That's my turn. That was marvelous.
Great. This dude's in a crater now. There we go.
Nice.
Look at that improvised crater. Well done.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. Blue team. Blue team. Ooh. Trescott, you ran right under them here. I think they are gonna just circle around and get themselves into a
Face
position.
me, you fools.
Yeah, from the sky. They're not stupid. Well,
But the other ones were stupid.
they were already on the ground. 21,
True.
7, 17, and 20. 2 of these
Two of
will
those
hit for
I'm going
8,
down, boys.
8 piercing and 9 fire.
And got her, buddy. Trescott falls down again. Every fight, at
Lulu
least once.
lands at your side. No! Trescott! No! Hugo, what do you want to do?
Just staring in bewilderment at Trescott falling over.
Every time.
I will aid Trescott, I suppose. So there's not much point in me moving anywhere, so I'll steady aim and shoot at the blue squad are still up in the air, right?
Yeah,
So-
everything with little wing markers on them are
Yeah.
still in the air.
Okay. I'll shoot at the furthest away one because it's the most useful thing
Yeah,
for me to do.
way
I'll shoot
over
at this
here.
one hit with advantage. That is a 20
For
to
9
hit.
piercing,
Unnatural 20.
plus your sneak attack.
6 sneak, so 15 points of
15
damage.
total points of damage. It's still up in the air, though it does wobble a little bit as the arrow hits it.
Yeah, and as a bonus action, I'm just gonna use my second wind to heal.
Bonus
a little
action
bit.
was
Oh,
your
it's steady
steady
aim.
aim.
Never mind. Yep. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Green team is dead, so I can remove them from the turn
I
order.
keep forgetting I have fighter abilities. It's quite
Yeah.
fun.
Cyrus, what do you want to do? As you peek up over your rock that you've hunkered down behind, you see that, hey, Seems to be going pretty well, but Trescott's in the dirt again.
How fun. Let's see. So if I come back here, can I reach any of the things that are alive? I cannot. Curses. I guess I could do that.
You went very far, so.
Yeah, I know. All right. I will use my bonus action to dash.
So
Uses a key
Step
point.
of the wind for that. Okay.
Yup. Then I will. So I was 45 feet off.
So your
now
movement takes you to the edge of the map where you're at now.
Yep. And stop that thing. All right. And then that's not the right clicky. All right. Boop.
Okay.
So that's 30.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think there's fine.
That was your movement and bonus action.
Yes.
You'll have an action remaining.
So okay. So how far away from the blue leader am I?
Well, you're 25 feet as from the bottom of him there. He's,
Right.
20 feet up in the air. Something, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. He's probably like 30, 32, but,
That is acceptable.
Okay. What are we doing?
I am gonna shoot. Well, you know what? I'll use a spell because it technically is a little bit past 30 feet. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna use a sacred flame because that's 60 feet.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. How do I
Sacred
goddamn do
flame.
all this stuff?
Ooh, even with
Click
the advantage.
on it.
Yeah, even with the advantage, it does fail for 14 radiant damage. That is a big boy sacred flame as it flashes in the air.
Burn in holy fire.
I'm gonna have him roll okay. He is blinded by the radiant light and lands on the ground to rub his eyes because they hurt a little bit.
Ooh, I'm blinded by the light. No, I don't that's my turn. Well, you know, like my
we gotta
sweet
edit
singing?
that out. That might be copyrighted.
Yeah, I don't want to get DMCA.
I don't think it'll get caught by it.
Hugo, Cyrus shows back up and then blasts something with radiant light.
Oh, welcome back, Cyrus.
I had to go heal up for a little bit.
Yes, I'm sure you did. Anyway, I will take a regular shot at
It
this
is
one
not
in the
your
air.
turn, sir. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, I thought you
Cyrus
said it was my turn.
got
My God.
back.
I'm having a stroke today. I apologize.
Pay
It's
attention.
okay. It's only been a month and a half since you've played Dungeons and Dragons, right? So it's totally
Rusty.
fine.
It's
The
not fine.
remaining person on red team is literally just going to fly at Francis and start circling him and tossing out the spines as it can. That is a 21 and a 20. Cyrus, for 11 piercing and 3 fire damage.
Did you say Cyrus?
You
Sorry,
did say
Francis.
Cyrus there, Joel,
Francis.
but I assume you meant me, so I'm saying it.
Down here.
Francis. Okay, that hurts.
Down at the bottom. Down here. Sorry. Yep, it is now your turn. This one has seemingly taken a liking to you.
I mean, I will. I'll just go to Eldritch Blast it. I
Sure.
guess. 12.
A 12 just misses. The 17, though,
Okay.
does find the mark for 10 points of damage, blasting him out of the air and onto the ground.
Oh, I got him! Oh!
Everyone's still like fighting over here and has no idea like you did anything.
I wish those damage rolls were reversed.
I'll move to there and end my turn.
Okay, excellent. Orange team standing by. Okay. We're running out of spines here, so the Spine Devil is going to utilize its flyby ability to swoop past and through V here, making its 2 attacks as it does so. It rolls an 8 and a 5 and will clang off of V's armor here. Trescott, I need a death saving throw.
Why do you always need a death saving throw from me?
Quit dying. That is one failure. Lulu goes,
Marked that.
Trescott! No! She's going to use one of her cure wounds for the day and heals you for 12. Max amount for her.
Great job, Lulu. I love you, Lulu. Thank you.
Oh, hey, look, you're alive. Perfect. Get up. We're not done yet. V, what would you like to do?
Okay, so there is this one, the orange guy still.
Yeah, this one's flying about. This one's flying about. This one is on the ground, rubbing its eyes from the radiant holy light that Cyrus blinded it with.
I'm enjoying this like superhero thing, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna jump back up, and I'm gonna hit someone. I can't even see what's going on here. I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna hit the orange one with the lightning launcher.
Okay.
For 19.
So it's in the air. You're gonna try and do the whole teleport up and do the thing again.
Fun with that. Yeah. I told him to come down. He didn't want to.
He didn't.
So we're going to him.
Okay. I think you would know this. He's higher than you can reach. They have like
He's higher.
Yeah. They have a pretty good fly speed, and he swooped down and went up. He saw what happened.
Gotcha.
His friend is in a crater.
That's fair. Okay. Well, instead of that, can I do something else then?
Absolutely. Yeah. You
Okay,
you definitely notice that he's too high up.
I would just like to use magic missile then.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna 3 times, right?
Yeah. On the same orange
Bop,
one.
bop, and bop. Yep.
Okay. Cool. For 10
5,
total
6,
points
7, 8, 9, 10.
of damage. Yeah, and he looks pretty heftily injured here as the force bullets slam into him.
And be like, come down.
Get down here this instant, young man.
Get down here this instant.
No!
You're gonna eat your broccoli and you're gonna like it.
This one's going to do the same thing. Going to swoop past V. End up on the other side, still up in the air next to his orange companion. Going to bite and fork. Both of these are going to miss as 18 and an 11. V is just too well armored at this point. This one is on the ground, though. He's going to come try and stab Trescott as he hops over. He's gonna just try and kill you. He rolls a 13 and a 14, even with the advantage, and you are too well armored for his stupid little pitchfork to get through. He seems very frustrated by this and hops around angrily. Hugo, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot the guy who's stabbing Trescott on
That's
the
a
floor.
good idea.
I'm not gonna advantage it, just a regular shot. For 12, wow, I might have actually got punished for that.
12 just misses.
Oh, that's...
As he sees it coming and hops out of the way.
I love that if I roll a 1, it's a 12.
Yeah.
And then with my bonus action, I will use my second wind now and heal up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Just a D10.
D10 plus 2 now, right?
Yes. Wow.
Whoa! Big
Double
3!
ones in a turn.
Wow.
I hit the double ones. Let's
Big
go.
3!
So yeah, but I guess the summation of my turn is I sort of catch my breath a small amount and miss.
Yeah.
So there you
There we go. Cyrus, what do you want to do?
Well, I blinded one of them, so I'm gonna try to blind the other one.
It was momentary.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I was able to actually get this cantrip to like do work for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try it again on the blue one in the air. I don't know why I clicked that button.
The flash of radiant light in the air is deftly avoided by the Spine Devil. Rolls a 20 on their dexterity saving throw.
Totally fair.
That's action, sir. Okay. Red team's dead. Remove them from the turn order there. Francis, what would you like to do?
I'm moving up to this rock, and then I'm going to shoot an Eldritch Blast at the flying Spine Devil for 18.
Perfect. Yeah, 18 definitely hits for 6 points of damage as you blast it. It is
I'm just
still up.
blasting it again if it.
Yeah.
So that's 21 for 9 damage.
Oh, yeah, that'll be enough. As it goes, gets blasted backwards, slamming into the ground.
Oh, another one, everyone. I've gotten 2. That is my turn.
Okay.
Congrats, Francis.
I love how you're yelling that, and the closest person to you is like Trescott dying on the floor.
I'm up.
I'm doing so well.
Orange team. Only one remains. How smart is he? Intelligence check. That's a 2. He screeches out in rage and zips down towards V. and engages in melee combat. And it's
Yeah.
an 18 and a
Smart at all.
15, and he misses. Trescott, your ass is on the ground. What do you want to do?
I'd like to stand up and take a big meaty swing at this blue guy who decided to get in melee range with me. Whack! 20 unnatural.
20 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Whack.
For 13 as you
slashing
hack
damage.
through him. Fortunately, this silvered blade is doing a whole lot of work for you down here in Avernus.
Sure is. So is it half my movement to stand up?
It
that
is
right?
indeed.
I'm gonna step here, and this guy also was in melee range, if I remember from 2
Yes.
seconds ago.
He's still kind of
I'm
like
gonna take-
flapping around here, but he is definitely in melee range.
I will take another swing at this man's. 12 this time.
12,
Meh.
unfortunately, will miss.
Well, in that case, I stand there menacingly,
Ooh.
saying, "You should have run."
Lulu goes, "Don't worry, I've got this!" And is going to try and ram this one with her tusks. She rolls a 15.
Didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Oh.
She rolls a 15, and you know what? It's one off, right? Can we give it to her? She does 3
can.
points of damage and gores this spine devil into the ground.
Gruesome.
Nice.
And it dies, leaving the battlefield strewn with corpses. The demons and devils raging against each other still at the base of the tower, and that pit fiend still overlooking, flying by here, noticing that maybe this excursion didn't go as well as they had wished. You note that you may not have a whole lot of time here for safety. But we're
Yes, I
gonna
assume those trumpet blasts probably won't help that.
pretty loud. So we're gonna see what you guys do about that after we take a short little break, since we're about
Good, I'm
halfway
dying for
through
a piss.
this
That's
session.
it.
Dear Lord.
Let's go together, Craig. We can hold hands.
We'll be
Okay.
right back. God damn it.
I'm actually-
I'm a native English speaker.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Welcome back to Descent into Avernus. We're starting on that. No other context.
Yogurt.
Our party has just dispatched a contingent of spined devils that were pursuing them away from the pillar of black iron that holds Elturel to the surface of Avernus. And they realize they don't have a whole lot of time before they get any more negative attention. What do you want to do?
I guess we're just running, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Continue
we
to
should
take it off.
probably go towards.
Continue to leg it. Perfect. So we take off in the hopeful direction of Fort Knucklebone with our lovely Lulu leading the way, because she says that she remembers how to get there, maybe. The hellscape of Avernus sits under hideous clouds that obscure the vault of the sky, from which the occasional meteor streaks down before crashing into the ground. Ambient light continually swells up from just below the horizon as though lit by 9 setting suns, yet no actual celestial bodies fill the sky. No sun, no moons, or stars. The constant twilight makes it difficult for the denizens of Avernus to track the passage of time. The atmosphere itself reeks of brimstone and burning tar. Hot gusts of wind shriek across the hellscape and scour the land below. Sometimes these winds swirl into immense sandstorms and can strip the flesh from bone and plunge everything into darkness. Fighting flies, hell wasps, and blood-sucking sturges patrol the air, hunting for any source of blood to feed on. Swarms can grow so large they blacken the sky and deafen the ears with the sounds of their wings. On the ground, wandering bands of Nuparibos, blind, bloated castaways of the damned, move in the thousands, like living lakes of groaning flesh in their agonizing search for food. Bone fields, quicksand, bubbling tar pits, lakes of lava, canyons of wailing souls, and salt flats made from the tears of the damned all await those who wander the hellscape. This is where we find ourselves, finally on the ground of Avernus.
I'm sure there's a Starbucks if you look hard.
There's probably a Starbucks nearby.
Good vacation spot for sure.
What
Well,
you,
we're in hell though, so it'd be like warm. It'd be like warms, like a. Okay, you want to get a cold drink and it's warm.
right, like a mostly melted
Like
frappuccino.
mostly melted. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is oppressive and hot. And the supernatural malevolence weighs on the bodies and souls of those that walk in Avernus. As you quickly make your way towards Fort Knucklebone, fortunately, only a quick 10-mile trek away. I do need a Constitution saving throw for everyone. A party.
Yeah.
19.
Nice.
17.
I got a 3, dude.
I got a 3, dude.
My celestial countenance is not faring very well
It
here.
is not faring very well. Yeah, and I think it's Lulu rolls a natural 20. Probably a result of just like taking as much damage as you did during the fight and just trying to, right yourself here. You suffer 1 point of exhaustion. As making your way across the land here is awful. It's really, really terrible. You stop for maybe a moment trying to get some of your rations and eat them and maybe recover a little bit. It tastes foul, like it had rotted, though no actual sense or look of rot is on the food. It doesn't even seem filling. Continuing towards the fort, trudging as you are, Lulu attempts to keep spirits as high as she can, trumpeting out a small little song or two. Come on, everyone! It's not that much further! Come on! And even she seems a little despondent, making the way across the land. Eventually you see a... Yep, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't like it when Lulu said.
A fortified compound sits atop a low plateau that rises out of a crater-pocked landscape. At the center of the compound is a hill of rust-colored stone that resembles a hand clawing out of the ground, with gaps between the fingers. A jagged wall made of rock, bones, and metal debris surround the hand-shaped hill. Other highlights visible from this distance include a gatehouse, atop which from here you can see maybe half a dozen small figures.
There's
Well, crap.
some things over there. I can't make out who or what they are, but something's moving.
I know this is difficult to say, but I wonder if they're hostile. Since everything is down here.
Well, what can we expect? I mean, I don't know. Should we knock on the door, or if there is a door? Or...
We can always go and try to just get in. I know we just took quite a beating, but there doesn't seem that many of them. I say we just go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Approaching the gatehouse, getting closer, you note these creatures now. They're small. They hold these wicked curved blades and have long red caps on there.
What is that, Joel? What?
It's a red cap.
I hate red
They're
cap
like
so
little
much, dude.
malicious gnome.
Yep.
One of them
I like
yells down at you as you approach. What's the password?
Can I yell back in Infernal?
If you'd like.
The password is I don't kill you.
Jeez.
What the fuck did you just say? I don't know that language.
Lulu, do you know a password for Fort Knucklebone?
I don't know. Another one of these tiny diminutive red-capped wearing whatever they are pops its head up and goes, we don't have a password. And all of them fall over in peals of mirth. The first,
What?
again, pokes its head over. Do a dance for us and we'll let you in.
Who's got good performance?
Prescott is too proud for that.
He's gonna look over at Cyrus and be like, you like to move, right? That's close to dancing.
He likes to move it.
Yes.
I will play a jaunty tune for you, Cyrus, and you can dance to it.
We could dance if we want to. I could leave my friends behind.
You already did that once this session, so I don't know if we need to do that again.
I didn't leave them behind. More,
Sure
I
did.
put myself forward. I'm okay. Oh man. The thing is, Cyrus is not too proud, but he'll do it.
So you begin to dance to Francis's jaunty tune.
Yep, I'll dance.
Yeah, Cyrus, come on, you can do it. Go ahead, roll me a performance check. As you begin to dance.
Dance.
Dance, puppet.
It's a 9. The red-capped wearing gremlin-looking things up on the wall fall over, laughing uproariously. yes, that is good.
Wait.
Now jump very high.
Joel, can I ask something?
Sure.
Whilst this is happening, can I actually be doing an enthralling performance on the?
Ooh.
So if I perform for at least 1 minute, I can attempt to inspire wonder in my audience. And at the end of the performance, I can choose a number of humanoids. I don't know if these things are humanoid or if they're devils or something like that.
Humanoid-ish.
They're human shaped.
But they'll be charmed by me
Uh-huh.
at the end.
Yes. Okay.
If they
there's
fail
no
a wisdom
oh, there's a
saving throw.
wisdom save.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'll just post the text for you.
Yeah. I like
Wall of
where
text.
this is going. Sure. Okay.
Well,
a number of them do seem enthralled with your music, but not all of them. And the main one that had been speaking this entire time seems to not be bothered by it at all.
You said you wanted us to jump?
Yes, jump very, very high. Jump.
V,
All right.
please. I think you
Oh,
can
yeah,
jump
that could
quite high.
I don't know if it's a jump much more than a blink.
No, perhaps you can make it look like a jump.
Okay, here. Well, Trescott, come closer and lift me up.
All right.
Try,
I shall.
like, so he just tries to get like close, probably like wraps around V's waist,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to blink up 15, and I just show
I'm gonna
back
try
up
to catch
there.
her before she hits the ground.
Oh, you should not try that. Okay.
Roll me
You
an
should not-
athletics check, Trescott.
Well, I mean, it's that or you
Trying to
take the
catch a
damage.
Ford Escort before it hits the floor.
That's cool. I'm strong. As you said,
You
Uh,
blink up into the air, and there's a collective whoa from the wall, and then you go falling towards the ground, and Trescott actually catches you rather nicely and sets you
He's
down
300 pounds.
softly on a. Trescott's a big boy.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I set her down.
he uses his legs
Thank you, Trescott.
in cushioning the fall here, and there's a big oh yes again.
Lord.
No, fuck's sake.
We would like to get in, please.
Another from the wall. No, sing us a song.
I will say to them, come on, my friends, we've entertained you enough, and we are weary from traveling across Avernus. If we were permitted inside to rest and recuperate, then we could spend the evening regaling you with our talents.
The main one seems to have eyes glazed over and is picking its nose as you began your words. Then wakes up and looks at you and says, "What are you doing standing around? Come inside!"
Nice.
All right, then.
They crank open the door to this fortress and let you in. The area enclosed by the rampart is littered with trash and mechanical parts, some put together in a way that resemble a vehicle. Ramshackle structures built from the same junk as the outer wall provide what look to be shelters. A platoon of these small creatures mill about, all looking like feral gnomes. Several of them sport these tall red caps, and some of them drip with this black, vile ichor. A pair of kenku examine one of these strange vehicles, chattering to each other in high-pitched squawks. These Kenku carry an assortment of strange tools. They turn, they see you, and they stare in wonder. They squawk out, and one of them waves in your direction as if telling you to remain where you are. It says, "What the deal? Patience is a virtue. Can't keep boss waiting," and runs off into one of these trash structures. Moments later, he returns, leading a tall creature wearing a long, tattered shift covered in mud, blood, mold, and worse. Their eyes seem to move independently of each other as they approach. Their straggly brown hair hangs in front of them, and resting on each shoulder are red-eyed ravens that scrutinize your group. Behind you, or behind her, a hulking creature built of disparate fiendish parts trudges, moaning and hopping in a weird, somewhat dance as it walks. The tiny gremlin creatures dance about it in the same hopping manner, making fun of it. They look a little bit like this terrifying group.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a large yikes.
I don't like the mouth thing.
I know.
Right, that looks great. You could hook it up to some Beppy. Oh.
Both
Hoover it all up.
of the woman's eyes focus keenly on your group and on Lulu specifically. "Oh my goodness," she croaks, spit dribbling from her mouth. "Where did you find such a treasure?"
To what are you preferring?
Why, the Holyphant. Look at her. Last vestige of Zariel. What in that little brain of yours are you hiding? I would very much like to know. Welcome to Fort Knucklebone, my friends. Welcome.
Thank you.
for letting us in.
Yes, we appreciate the shelter, I suppose.
Yes.
It's quite the
Yes.
place you have.
Don't mind thee. And she kicks one of the small gremlin creatures. The idiot Fae. They are mostly harmless, but do keep track of all your fingers and toes. They have a penchant for ripping them off.
Good to know.
Noted.
Yes, yes, yes. What brings you to Fort Knucklebone and Mad Maggie's home?
We were told this might be the last location of Zariel's sword. Is it
No,
still here?
No,
Oh.
no. And Lulu kind of floats up to me. No, this is just the last place I remember. Kind of hoping to backtrack things.
Oh, okay, Lulu.
Right. Memory. Holyphant, what? What do you remember? And she like kind of hides behind V and pokes her little head up and around. I remember Chukka helping me out and some of the things before that, but a lot of it is still really fuzzy. Yes. I know how to unlock the memories. Yes. But it will take time. I need opponents, materials, a circle, a ritual. Yes. You must wait for a time. Please, enjoy Fort Knucklebone. Enjoy. And I will collect you when it is time. Yes. And she turns around, kicks another one of these red caps, and returns to one of these scrap outposts inside the fort. You are
I
left.
really don't like this place.
Yeah, you were left in Fort Knucklebone at the entry, 30 some odd of these tiny gremlin fey creatures staring at you. You also see Chukka, Clonk, the two Kenku, as they had come out and were watching this. They return to working on the machines, whatever those wheeled machines are. The flesh golem kind of hops up and down on a foot. And the other fey creatures continue to dance around it, doing the Mickey, as they make fun of the poor creature. What would you like to do?
Find a corner to have a wee cry in.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Dream.
Welcome to actual hell. We've been kind of messing around in rather protected locations like Elturel for a while. Now we're in it. We're really in it.
And I don't like it.
I sense only bad vibes.
Perhaps we should just find a quiet corner and catch our breath for a moment.
Yes,
I would
think
like that.
rest is important right now, and then we can explore more after this. Just don't get anywhere near those red caps, apparently.
Yes, I do rather like my toes.
Francis, you don't have... Just be extra careful around them.
Why? There's less of me for them to steal, I suppose.
Okay.
There
So you try to find a safe-ish corner to short rest?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, you locate one off to the side under the ever watchful shifting eyes of the red caps and some of their more murderous cousins. Go ahead and roll your hit die if you'd like to. Take your recovery. Or you will not be disturbed for the moment while you rest and wait. But while you do this, if you'd like to, go ahead and roll perception checks as well.
I would like to know if Francis is going to play his Song of Rest before he yells at everyone.
I am not going to. I am choosing
Okay.
not to play because I don't want to fucking attract these wee little shite bags.
Okay, that's all I need to know
Rude.
before he yells at me.
I mean, I'm having to use all my fucking hit die.
I have none left either.
Oh, I already...
Remember that
Use
when you
them
take a
all.
long
Oops.
rest, whenever we get to it, you will only recover half the total.
Of what?
Whenever we get there.
Half your total amount of hit die.
Oh, really?
You only recover half the total amount of hit die in a long rest.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm fairly certain this is like the first campaign that I've been in where that's actually mattered.
Adventuring is hard.
Adventuring in hell.
Adventuring is
Very
hard. Yeah. If you would like to. The Trescott perception of 2. Love that. Hugo,
Yeah.
10.
I'm
V,
good.
10. Okay. Cyrus, that's pretty good out of 20. We love that. As you're taking your rest, Hugo, V, you watch as this flaming, floating green skull thing with glowing eyes floats up to you.
God.
And
Does
it
it
begins
look
to
friendly?
it begins to speak. Oh, hello, old chaps. Well, I know that you're new in town, but no one really seems to be able to help me. You've got time for an old wizard, huh? As he chatters
I
his
don't see why
skull-like
not,
teeth.
Mr. Friendly Flaming Skull. How are you?
Oh, yep. Bobs his head up and down. Name's Barnabas. Once very powerful wizard. Had my crypt defiled by an evil nemesis of mine who stole my skull and turned it into what you see in front of you. Mama Maggie struck a bargain with the wizard and took me as payment, and now I am a valuable part of this gang.
A gang, you say? Interesting.
Yes, indeed. Well, so, those little shits over there, you see the ones with the red caps? Right.
Oh, we're aware of them.
They throw stuff at me a lot. Don't like it. Hit me in the jaw with one of the gears from one of the hell machines. and lost this tooth. Here, I'd point at it, missing my hands. So,
I love this guy.
This one. And you see that there's just like a gap where a tooth should be. Saw one of the little shits, Grubber, grab it and ran off. Can't tell Mama Maggie about it. She suspects something is I'd be way too embarrassed. She expects better of me. And, well, again, missing hands, can't rightfully go grab that tooth, can I?
Can you not force them to give it back to you? Because Barnabas, I don't mean this in an antagonistic way, but you are a somewhat terrifying flaming skull that's floating around.
Thank you. I really put a whole lot of effort into it in my undeath. I really don't have much else to do.
Well, you've done a good job of it. You're quite scary.
Thank you. What you might notice, though, is that those mad little hatters, you like that? They don't really care. They aren't scared of anything, because in about 2 seconds, they'll forget and then tear one of the other one's heads off.
But I assume you have some sort of, flaming skull-like abilities. Can you not set them on green fire or do something similar?
Right, yes, I could, indeed. But I don't know which one has it, and I can't really go about blasting them all. They've been treating it like a little bit of a lucky charm, passing it about between them all. Grubber grabbed it, don't know where it's at now, and, well, Mama Maggie might get really mad if she no longer has anyone to work for her because I blasted them all with magical green fire.
So,
Well,
do you need this tooth, though? Like, if it's their lucky charm, wouldn't they just try to grab it back again?
Oh, well, I was hoping you might be able to convince them otherwise. You seem like a reasonable lot, which is more than I can say for probably everyone else here.
Okay, one more question. Does
I
it
don't
have
trust
to be
this guy.
Does it have to be your tooth, or can I just make you one?
I would really like it to be my
so that
tooth.
they can have something nice, and then you can
Oh.
have something nice, and then that kind of makes it so that everyone wins.
What about a gold tooth? You look pretty dapper.
I can
with
make
that.
you something silver.
no,
shiny,
no
or-
silver, no silver. Don't know
Oh,
how
right,
long
no
you've been
silver,
here
that's
in,
right.
in hell, but silver's rather painful.
That's right. That's true. Oh well.
Keep my
I mean,
sword sheathed.
Yeah. He notes that down there. Yeah, don't worry, saw that. Keeping well away from it.
Barnabas,
Well, like-
you seem like quite an affable chap, but
Oh, thank
one
you.
must wonder how you ended up in the hells as a flaming skull. It's not exactly the kind of, career path that
Well,
an ordinary mild-mannered wizard would take, really, is it?
once again, when I died, my crypt was defiled by an evil arch nemesis of mine who stole my skull and made it into this as a bit of a last fuck you to me.
Well, but you ended up in the hells. Were you here when you died, or did he bring you here after he turned you into this?
Mama Maggie brought me here, struck a bargain with the wizard, doing
yes,
something or another, and, well, I was the payment. She seemed to like me.
Well, that's quite a unfortunate turn of events, really, isn't it?
Well, I am just a green, flaming, floating skull, so I can't really complain about too much.
I suppose it's not, the most difficult life.
Or on life, since I'm dead.
I would like
True.
to press X to doubt.
Roll me an insight check.
I think he seems nice.
I mean, that's the thing. He seems too nice. That if he seemed a little bit more angry about it.
22. You think that, he kind of is just embarrassed that he has a missing tooth. Most everything he says seems to check out. Doesn't have a reason to lie to you that you can tell. But again, it's one of those that, we're in hell? I don't know if, should we be doing this? But, for all of his spooky countenance, seems like a nice enough floating green flaming skull.
Yeah, I guess it's just the juxtaposition of his friendliness with every other thing that we've seen so far
Yeah.
here.
I really do like getting into new projects. Are you sure I can't just make you one? I actually let me see what I have, and I look through my bag of stuff.
Sure.
And I pull up. I have one of the red amethysts that we got earlier on. I could make you a really nice tooth with this, and then everyone can live in a little bit of peace here.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
I think it'd be cool.
Because shiny Jemmy.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, that's double that 20s.
Oh, okay.
The double.
Doubles.
He like floats next to you and looks at the little amethyst and then looks up and you really do this for me?
I like helping others. It's where I
Wow.
was made.
Wow, that's wow. Yes, that sounds fantastic. I love this. This is amazing. This is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me since I've got here. Wow. Yes. Well, here. And he kind of like shows you this is about the size of the teeth. Here, I'll sit for you. Like, I should probably stop talking so you can really get in there and measure. But I do have a bit of a trouble
Shouldn't you
not
turn
talking.
the fire off first?
Unfortunately, no. That just kind of sits there forever. I have literally zero control on that one.
Well, she's gonna
watch
try
out!
to
It
like.
flares up sometimes. Hey!
Oh, Barnabas.
Oh, Barnabas.
And he shuts up for just long enough for you to get a couple of good measurements on the gap in the tooth there, where you can figure out how to fill it with an amethyst.
Now a dentist.
Wow, this is great. This is wonderful. I love this. I'm gonna go do a couple of happy laps around the fort here. You just let me know when you're ready to affix it. All right. And he just goes bobbing away. He would whistle if he could.
Can't whistle without lips.
He's singing a jaunty tune though, and honestly, that seems to be pissing off some of the red cats.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Wow.
get the
maybe
feeling
we
that they're
can
going to
talk
see
to-
the shiny tooth and they're going to be like,
it's a target.
that's fucking better than a regular tooth. Let's get that. They're going to beat the shit out of them.
That's
Well,
not our
maybe we
prerogative.
can talk to Mad Maggie and trade Cyrus for Barnabas. I quite like him.
Hey, whoa.
Hey.
Hey,
Whoa, hey.
Hold on a minute there. Let's think
think-
about this a little bit more.
While this is happening, with that 20 perception check from Cyrus, who's maybe brought back into the group here by being alerted he might be replaced by a flaming skull named Barnabas, you've noticed something across the way. A couple of different things. The first is that Chukka and Clonk seem to be working on these machines, and the more and more you take a look at them, you note that they resemble carriages like you would have had on the material plane, but they don't seem to have any location to hook up a horse or something else. Chukka and Clonk maneuver about inside this metal contraption, and eventually it roars to life, smoke spewing out the top and flames guttering out the front. Additionally, you see two imps across the way, other side of the fort here, and they seem to be conspiring, rather close to each other here. They seem to be in a bit of a heated debate. And the last thing you see is that Mickey, the flesh golem, seems to be walking around the camp. And every time he steps down on his right foot, he hops up on one side.
Interesting. Well, I relay that to the group, and I guess I would specifically. Well, okay. First thing first, I have to ask this: do I recognize either of those dirty little imps?
No, I don't think
Good.
you recognize either of them. A lot of imps take very similar shapes and forms, but I don't think either of these are ones you've seen before.
Good. I'm waiting to get my revenge. I guess I would say like, I think, man, I kind of feel bad about the flesh golem. It looks like one of his legs is bad.
Oh. Well,
While we're helping weird infernal things, should we help the flesh golem?
I'm going to be honest. He doesn't look like as much of a conversationalist as the Flaming Skull. So, I'm thoroughly team Flaming Skull here.
Can we be team both? Is that a possibility?
Well, we do have a few healers on our team. One of you can take a look while I'm making this, and then if it doesn't work, I could try to make a shunt or something that will help him walk.
Maybe he's just got a thorn.
Well,
I mean, that looks like the kind of thing that, we've sort of, I don't want to say killed on the regular, but you know what I mean. Why are we planning to heal it? It seems like it could be turned against us should we piss anyone off.
That is fair.
I think if these people have given us, temporary safety to rest and relax, the least we can do is maybe help them.
Yes, I'm not sure he counts as the people who are letting us rest.
Joel.
Yes.
Can I tell if it's doing that hopping instinctually, like it's a kind of like a spinal reaction,
Roll me
or if it feels
insight
pain?
check.
Or perhaps it's being controlled.
Every
17.
time that Mickey, the flesh golem, steps down on his right foot, you see him wince in pain. And then he hops over to his left. And again, a circle of these little madcaps dance around, making fun of his limping stride.
The other point to bring up is if we do help, maybe the madcaps will be mad at us for getting rid of their play toy or whatever.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I hate those little things.
Little
That's
red
one
cap.
point to help him.
All right. Nobody else has to, but I'm gonna go see if he's okay.
Okay. You make your way over to Mickey, the flesh golem, who lumbers about, moaning, and he sees you approach, and you note again that when he stops and stands and turns, he doesn't put all of his weight onto the right foot. Note that there's this wince in pain. It's rather clear he doesn't have much way to communicate with you, doesn't have a mouth, so to speak. But he doesn't move to attack you or hurt you in any way, and just watches you approach.
I would point at myself, and I would sit down. Then I'd point at him, and point it back at myself. Essentially, I'm attempting to make it understand that I want it to sit down.
Roll me a performance check for your pantomime.
Ah, crap. 18. All right, that's good.
He flops down on the ground, feet splayed out in front of him, hands kind of holding him upright.
I'll give him a thumbs up. And then I'm gonna.
He looks down at his big thumb and points and brings it up. And goes,
Oh God.
Me chunk. I'm gonna kind of slowly approach his right foot, or his right leg, and kind of just have my palm out, essentially just been like, everything's fine, please don't freak out. I would like to I guess inspect his foot to see if there's anything external that looks like it might be the cause.
Oh, it is incredibly clear to you what it is. An enormous bone fragment is punctured into his foot.
Oh, it's not his. It's just someone else's bone?
Yup.
He smooshed some.
Okay. Oh man. Oh man. All right. Well, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm fast. There's no way this guy can catch me. I am going to once again do the kind of open palm and just look at him like, I know he might not be able to understand. I'm just be like, this is going to hurt. And I'm going to.
And you get the feeling he said existence is pain. So I think you might be okay on that.
Okay. As fast as I can, I'm going to attempt to just yank the bone out.
Oh, that's right. There was a point of exhaustion. It's fine. It is a medicine check.
That's fine. So what is disadvantage?
Is disadvantage.
I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
It's it's not terrible. It's a 10.
And grab the bone, and you begin to pull, and it seems that you have not gotten it correctly. Might need some assistance.
Trescott hates seeing agony of any kind, and would most likely make his way over there, inspecting said bone, and being like, "Oh, yes, we need to get that out, Cyrus. You really need to pull from the base."
Roll me a medicine check with advantage with Cyrus's help.
Not that I'm literally any better at them, but here we go. Wang.
Advantage is always good.
Oh, natural 20 though.
There you go. Steadying Cyrus's tired hands, you're able to help remove the enormous bone fragment from Mickey's right foot. And you see a slow, big tear trickle down from his demonic eye. And he gets up on his feet and stomps down on his right foot and jumps up and down a couple of times. Some of the madcaps nearby go, "Hey! Hey, what did you do? Hey!"
I am just going to turn to them, and I'm just going to yell. Well, I'm going to speak loudly. I'm not going to like scream. Like, shut up.
Hey, you shut up. No, you. And then the other like madcaps around him go, yeah. That was good. Great comeback. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, they're this stupid. I'm legit going to respond. You times infinity.
Whoa! And they all look at each other like, oh. And the first one there's like, oh my, I have been bested. And he comes forward and collapses onto his knees. And says, "Here, my most prized possession." And he pulls out a finger.
Oh.
A long, curling finger.
What the?
For you.
Can I do a really quick insight check to see if this is up? If it's like
At disadvantage due to your exhaustion.
Okay.
And disgust.
I just
Oh,
I
this
want
is 12.
It's a finger.
I'm taking the finger, dude.
You clutch the desiccated finger in your hands, and it actually seems rather fresh. The flesh on it kind of shifts a little bit, and you now have a long, curled, demonic finger in your possession.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We have to collect 3 more fingers and a thumb, and then we can sculpt Francis a full hand.
Francis could get a hand.
Yes.
We are not going to encourage them to take others' fingers.
Whoa, I didn't say we were gonna take it from them.
And he like backs down, groveling, and then everyone, the other 3 behind him, "Oh, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. Infinity is so large."
I'm just gonna like start walking away and say, "Remember, you're not worthy."
And as soon as you say "remember," they look around at each other. Huh? What just happened?
Yeah.
Of course.
I hate this.
I want someone to, in the comments, to make a thing of like skeletons for Cyrus and red caps and just all these creatures that he just keeps adopting.
When you
Don't
turn
forget
around,
the ravens that betrayed me.
And the ravens.
when you turn around and you see Mickey there, standing, you think you could see a smile if he had a mouth, but he opens his spiny arms wide in a universal sign of "Give me a hug."
I will. I'm good. I just had a short rest. Everything's fine. I'll give him a hug.
Trescott, he crushes you in on the left arm and he gestures with the right.
Get in.
Do you hug Mickey the flesh golem?
Oh, it's not the weirdest thing I've hugged in this world.
You give Mickey a hug. He's a bit spiny. You take 1 point of piercing damage each.
Damn.
And then he releases you.
know, man. I know. It's okay. It's hard.
And then he turns and walks away without limping and without hopping and without moaning.
What the fuck are those two doing?
I have no fucking clue. This is absurd.
We're making more underworld allies, all right?
Allies, yes.
I finished the tooth.
I miss Barnabas. I miss Rock and Barnabas. I'm going to make my own party.
I miss
the surface world.
I'm going to have Rock the Vrock. I'm going to get the otter guy we met. I'm going to get this big chap. I'm making my own party. It's going to be much better.
Something, blackjack and hookers.
Exactly.
You finish the tooth, and you're kind of just waiting for Barnabas's return. Is there anything else that you would like to do or look at?
Well, I guess so what was the deal with them, Chukka and Clonk, in terms of like Lulu's relationship with them? She says that she spoke to them. I guess I would just ask that.
Yeah,
What was what was the situation there?
So when oh goodness, it's so hard to remember sometimes. You know what I mean? Everything's really cloudy, but I remember I was wandering for a while after the thing with the sword, right? Remember Yale plunged the sword into a rock and I made a shield, and then I only remember wandering Avernus. And then I found this place. And Chukka and Clonk, they were nice to me. But I don't really remember what else happened.
Should we speak to them maybe, or?
Well, we could.
They were pretty nice.
Maggie did say that she was going to try to get Lulu's memories back with that spell, but I guess we could go check out, and I'm kind of curious in what they're doing. That looks interesting. She's like, V has like a little smile going on, just like,
I just hope that any rituals they do with Lulu don't hurt her. And I give her a nice little pat.
Me too. Yeah. Do you want to go talk to Chukka and Clonk?
Yeah.
Chukka.
Chukka and Clonk. You should still have access to that
echo when the walls fell.
picture of them. They don't have like the standard Kenku attire or wear. One of them has a warhammer strapped across his back that glows faintly with this red light. And Chukka seems to have this pike. You can tell immediately it's been silvered.
Oh.
They are working on things. Clonk is the bigger of the two. Chukka is animated and seems to be taking the lead on whatever they're doing here, repairing these machines. The two of them are angrily hammering down on a machine that looks a little bit like this.
Demon grinder. Nice.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Is that the dating app in the Abyss?
Indeed.
Pop-pop.
Chukka is animatedly hammering on something and then kicks the machine in frustration. Plonk kind of sits and ponders a little bit, trying to figure out what's wrong.
Following Francis.
Looks like a meat wagon. This is amazing.
It does.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I'm just walking up to them and say, hello. Are you Chukka and Clonk?
The way that Kenku communicate, a lot of times it's just sounds. It's not really words, in the fact that they only can say words that they've heard previously. So the squawk that you get back sounds eerily like a cat's meow. But he seems to assent that there is indeed an issue.
Well, I was wondering. Well, we're traveling with our friend Lulu, and she remembers you both fondly. And I was just wondering if you could tell us anything about Lulu, or even what's going on in Fort Knucklebone, or what we can expect from Mad Maggie, maybe.
Kind of cock their heads against you, and I think Chukka squawks out animatedly and then points at the demon grinder, and then kicks it again. and says, "Eye for eye, tooth for tooth."
I see. If we help you fix the demon grinder, you'll speak to us.
He nods.
Do you know what the problem is? I'm not mechanically inclined. Just
Shakes his head and kicks it again, and then hops up and down on one foot because he stubbed his toe on the metal.
V will take out her like tinker tools again, be like, "I help. Can I come up there?"
Clonk moves out of the way and nods and kind of, issues you forward to it here. He begins to point at various different portions of the demon grinder, squawking and making little noises. Go ahead and roll me a Tinker Tools check here to attempt to understand the machinery of the demon grinder.
It's a dexterity, or so it's an intelligence model.
Intelligence.
Yeah, that's right.
That is a natural
nat
20.
27.
I've been getting a few of those tonight.
Looking at this, you see a lot of yourself in it. Gears, interlocking,
jeez.
and
B is
turning.
quite the demon grinder, yeah.
The way that
Inside.
the pressurized fluid moves throughout, how the flame is stoked. You don't know what the fuel is that powers this thing, but you see how the gears interlock and that there's a centralized engine chamber here. And you note something. One of the parts, a spiky-looking gear, is disrupting the flow through one of these pipes. Getting a closer look at it, you note that it's nothing you've seen before. It's this red, glowing substance. The gear is comprised of something. Go ahead and roll me a nature check.
All right.
But you watch as it surges with this black energy.
16.
It's spikes. They're like literal spikes from some kind of creature, emanating this black energy. It seems to be interrupting this flow of energy from the engine.
Oh, something must have been caught underneath the tires and just the wheel, right? Can I try to yank it out?
Yeah, so the gear does look necessary.
Okay.
It just seems to be emanating an energy that is
Oh, I thought something was
causing a
stuck.
malfunction.
Gotcha. Okay.
I told the party about the weird imps, right?
I don't know. This seems a
yeah.
little far off of what we're currently doing.
Oh, I thought you said they were conspiring, about the car thing.
No, they were just
Trying to
talking
fix it.
to each other. The Kenku are
Yeah.
the ones that
Oh.
are working on the demon grinder.
Okay, my bad. I was confused.
Okay, all right.
So all of everything that's inside of the vehicle, it's needed, but it's not connected. It's not
There is a
merging with that
black
red.
electrical energy emanating off of this gear that is seemingly in the right place, but it is interfering with this flow of this red fluid in one of these pipes.
Can I try to?
It's like looking at
Move.
opposing magnet sides.
I'm trying to figure out how it is. Can I move the red, substance type thing to a different spot that would still work and continue the flow and not interrupt the gear part?
You want to
I'm trying to
reroute.
visualize it.
You
Yeah,
wanna,
I'm trying to
reroute
reroute
the
it
piping.
so that it goes through. Yes.
Do you say this plan to the Kenku?
I think she would just. I think she'd be so focused on what it is, and she's just, if I just do this, and she's muttering different things. I think if I move that substance, if it goes here, it should. Yes, this way.
Okay. Clonk is a pretty smart fellow. Nice. 17, Clonk. Clonk understands what you're trying to get at here. A lot of Kenku communication is literally just through gestures. And he figures out that you're trying to, reroute some piping. And so he goes and scrounges for, through some scraps and things like that and brings you some extra lengths that should allow you to reroute rather successfully.
Thank you.
So, this is a Tinker's Tools check. Again, you reroute this. He hits a valve, cranking it shut on the other side, and you note that the flow of the red fluid does eventually stop, leaving the pipe empty.
Okay. That one's an 11.
Okay. You pop it open, and roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Get some goo on you.
Nice.
Oh, nat 20.
Some of the residual fluid from the pipe lands on the spiky gear, and it explodes. A shock of lightning comes out, and you will dodge the majority of it here. For 3 points of damage, as it does shock in front of you.
She's gonna shock. Can I see because she has her lightning launcher gauntlets, can I like kind of try to absorb some of it as like just a flavor type thing? It's just like, it comes and she like hits her hand. I could take some damage. I just wanted, that would be kind of cool.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I want to
roll me a D100.
Absorb it.
Roll me a D100.
Okay, she's just gonna 43.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Don't like when Joel says that.
Oh,
It's more
So I
fun.
need to get the beans out.
So normally, this is for everyone at home. This shouldn't function on people who are literally machines, but I think it is way more interesting if it does. Coming into contact with the pure demonic energy here begins to affect the way that your body is created. The skin on that hand, your machine parts begin to harden. Your hand begins to stiffen. And it begins to grow this chitinous plate-like armor on the outside, forming a bit of a small bracer-like shield on that arm.
V needs more air AC.
She does. Leave her alone. So it's
You
like
get a
black,
+1
kind of
bonus to your AC, but reduce your charisma by 2 because of this spiky, like chitinous arm shield.
Okay, so she was already neg 1, so that's fine. So it's gonna like, is it gonna look like a venom type, the black, just like, and then it hardens?
Yep.
So, but it's like spikes coming.
Yep.
Like off her side. Ooh, okay.
And I think Clonk like pushes you away from this and squawks out at you, something in between like cow moo and another chirp.
Oh, this is, gotta be careful of that. Well, I feel actually, it's tough. Just be careful. Oh, this is...
He says back to you in your own voice, just be careful.
Yes.
Safety restrictions updated. Charisma affluence decreased.
She's already really bad at it. Yes. Well, work must continue. And I guess she would go a little bit more careful trying to reroute
and I
things
think this time Clonk like comes to help you.
Yes.
Just like hold
cool.
things steady. Roll Tinker Tools with advantage.
All right. Ooh,
Natural
nat 20.
Yeah. Rerouting the infernal energy through the pipes here. It seems that you're able to avoid whatever surge of demonic energy caused the malfunction there, and you're able to fix the demon grinder. Chukka goes and cranks the machine up by tossing in what looks to be a small metal disc. And I think, V, you're the only one inside the machine?
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check.
All right. 15.
15? It's a soul coin. And you swear you can hear the scream of the soul inside of it as it flares to life and is consumed instantaneously. The demon grinder roaring to life.
Oops.
Chukka hops up and down, excitedly chirping out. And Clonk gives you a thankful pat on the back and touches one of the little demon spikes rather carefully. Just be careful.
Yes, thank you, Clonk. I'm gonna go now. Francis, you can talk.
Yeah, as you
and
like
she's just gonna,
clamber out of the
she's
demon
gonna,
grinder, you watch.
I think she's like frightened too. Like she's actually kind of like weirded out and stuff, and wants to actually get away from this thing now.
You watch V climb out of the demon grinder, and her entire like left arm is covered in chitinous black spikes.
Is that permanent?
It certainly looks like it.
Yes, I touched some nasty stuff, but it doesn't. It seems like it still can function. It actually feels a little stronger.
Pardon my French, but that's the most hideous thing I've ever seen.
Trescott, we just spoke to a flaming chaos skull, and we're surrounded by little feral gnomes. I mean, you're not drawing a kind comparison here.
When Trescott says that, V like looks down. She's like, I wasn't built to be pretty. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I think it adds character, V. It's fine.
Nice one, Trescott. Real nice. Real
What an
paladin
absolute
move.
gentleman, yeah.
Yeah, nice guy, Trescott, eh?
Just because I have a high charisma doesn't mean I'm not an asshole.
Trescott knows that V is mechanical, right? We've already gone through that, or okay. Yeah. Okay. She's just gonna like climb down sadly and just like go back.
So, Chaka and Clonk, what? Could you be honest with us? I don't know how much of a conversation we can have, but what is this place? Who are you? Where did you two come from? Are you natives to Avernus?
It's just a throwing question.
Here's 18 questions.
I mean, I could keep going, but I don't want to. Maybe one thing at a time.
Just read a whole dictionary for them, and then boom, they speak every word.
Yeah, no one's done that for them. Clonk like walks up to you and like places a hand on your shoulder and starts to like kind of squawk at you and intonate some semblance of a response here, mixed in with random words that you think are supposed to lead to a kind of explanation. Fortunately, Barnabas the Flaming Skull does indeed return. Hello everyone. I had my nice little happy jaunt all the way around, and you having a fine conversation then?
Well, I'm trying to.
Oh, well, Chaka and Clonk are quite the talkers. If you can understand them, I suppose.
Do you understand? Well, could you translate Barnabas?
Oh, yes, of course. Barnabas, formerly very powerful wizard, can absolutely translate.
Well, what are they saying right now?
You asked how they got here. Well, sometimes creatures on the material plane sell their souls to fiends or fey-like creatures for, power and other things. Mama Maggie took these two in. They made a deal with a fey, and, were dragged down to Avernus when the time came.
Oh. So are you stuck here now?
Squawks, gestures, things like that. Yes and no. Seems that they really enjoy working on these machines.
Oh. Oh, well, okay, well, then fair enough. But do you remember Lulu?
He nods, bobs up and down. Yeah, seems that they do. That's why they went and got Mama Maggie when you got here.
Well, what do you remember of her when she speaks, says that you were helpful to her?
They say she was disoriented, exhausted, seemed to not know where she was going or what she was doing, and they resolved to help her in whatever way that they could. Let's see if I can't get. Sometimes the tenses of the words here get a little flipped around, trying to figure out which came first, the Kenku or the egg, as it were. Ha! Little joke for you there.
I don't get it.
All right.
Barnabas, I have a question for you, actually. A few people have mentioned that the thing they're working on is called a demon grinder.
Yes.
Does it really, sort of, and I'll make like a mowing down motion with my hands.
Yes, absolutely. Quite terrifying. You see the big old jaws on the front? Literally eats them up.
I mean, that sounds kind of amazing, really, if I'm honest.
It's fantastic.
Does it also harm devils?
Well, I wouldn't advise anything that can feel pain to stand in the way.
Noted.
So who exactly is Mad Maggie? Or is it Mad or Mama?
I prefer Mama. Mad has some rather negative connotations, and you know, she's kind of all there. She's always been rather nice to me, kind of like a mother figure.
Apart from that she bought your soul and you're trapped here as a flaming skull.
Well, there's not really much else to do for me, and either I get to exist as a flaming skull, or not at all.
What if we've, sort of found your body in your crypt and whatnot? Can you not fix this in any way?
Well, then I would be a floating flaming skull inside a crypt. Which
Well,
I
I
suppose
mean-
that's actually right where you'd find a lot of those, huh?
Probably, yeah. It seems like the natural environment, really, doesn't it?
I don't really want to be locked inside a crypt, though. Being out here, free, the sweet Avernus air. That was also a joke. It's not very sweet.
I mean, are you sort of like safe out here? I mean, it's an awfully blunt question, but like, can you be killed in that form, or do you just sort of
Oh.
get knocked around a bit?
Well, I can be knocked around and smashed, so I
Oh,
suppose
that would be bad, yes.
likely kill me again.
Nobody wants to live as a flaming pile of fragments, do they?
Exactly. Anyway, Mama Maggie's quite nice. She's, what the colloquial term would be a hag. She's a fey creature who's taken up residence here in Avernus as, what are they called again? A warlord. That's right, a warlord of Avernus.
So does she control a portion of the territory around here?
She does?
And does she have an allegiance to the demons or the devils to one side or the other?
Devils, quite frankly, the devils. We do a lot of demon grinding, as it were. Yes, we all work for the Archdevil Zario. So,
Oh.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Barnabas, I finished this. Here.
Whoa, hey, whoa, what happened to your arm there?
A little tinkering disaster. It's fine.
Oh. If I had a nostril, I would be able to say that smells like demon magic.
Yeah, a little bit of a mishap. I was working at the demon grinder's running. Speaking of that, and she's gonna V's gonna turn to the party and she's like point to her bag, like that she had shown everyone that she's having the coins. What we got, in El Terrell, those things that are hard to carry, powers that and was used. I couldn't stop them.
Oh, that's not good.
She doesn't want to tell exactly what the item is. She'll just try to be vague around.
You look into Barnabas's flaming eyes, and you can't tell whether or not that he's recognized it.
Okay.
So, tinkering mishap didn't happen to do with my fancy new tooth, though, did it?
No, that is fine. And she's gonna pull out the tooth, and it looks perfect.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Here, maybe I can shut up for just a little bit to get that thing in there. Yeah.
Hits it back in.
How's it look? Shiny?
It looks beautiful with your green flames.
Smashing.
Oh, smashing even. Wow, that's fantastic. This is awesome. Wow. I'm not even worried about the other tooth anymore. You know what? That little bastards can keep it. They can just keep it. Whew. Wow, I've never felt this good. This is great. This is wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping us in translating.
And maybe I can help you with a thing. If you ever want to get the, he kind of bobs up and down looking at your arm here, that fixed, it's technically a curse. You remove a curse, it'll go away.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Wow, this is great. This is fantastic. Right. So, need any more translation help?
Oh, do we have any more questions for them?
I
Not
think
at the
we should.
present. I think
Wait.
that Lulu might.
Can we have a demon grinder?
A good question.
Seems
It's a
pertinent
used car
considering our
lot.
activities
He, like,
here.
floats up and says, you know, if you get on Mama Maggie's good side, she might give you one or two. She's got a couple of different ones. There's a couple of these, and he like floats over to a couple of functional vehicles. One of these, it looks to be a one-seated, somewhat motorcycle-ish.
Oh.
Sweet.
Is this gonna turn into Mad Max or something
Well,
like
yeah.
that?
well, we're
Mad
in
Max is
somebody's
like-
fort who's called Mad Maggie, so yeah, maybe.
And another
Mad
one
Maggie, Fury
that-
Road.
that seems to house more than one person, and its tires are literal blades.
Nice.
It's like a weird Halo game.
Trescott on the Tormentor sounds like a great.
I would like a
Remember-
Banshee, Joel. Thank you.
Yeah. There some maintenance still going on here. Chaka and Clonk seem to be the ones taking care of them most of the time. That Devil's Ride right there needs some wheels. The Tormentor needs its weapon, harpoon flinger, attached to it. But otherwise,
Marvelous.
pretty good. There's also a little scavenger, but I don't think Mad Maggie's going to give that one up. It's for picking things out of the dust, as it were.
Okay. And they're all working right now.
Well, they're mostly functional. Like I said, the Devil's Ride
Yeah.
needs some wheels. The Tormentors need to get some of their harpoon flingers attached. And actually, taking a look at it over there, you see that? You like take a look at the Tormentor, and it looks like part of its armored plating has been eaten through by some kind of acid. Could probably use a rearmoring, but hey, like I said, get on Mama Maggie's good side. You never know.
Thank you, Barnabas.
Yeah, right. No, thank you. Thank you for the tooth. I'll let Maggie know what you did for me.
Okay. I guess we'll go back to resting until she is ready.
Yes, I mean, guys, look, I'm going to be honest. If we're going to be traipsing around down here, I'd probably rather do it in or on one of those things.
Yeah, but like, is it morally worth it?
I mean, you've been traveling with me for some time now, Cyrus. Not a question that I tend to concern myself with, particularly, especially given the circumstances.
I'm assuming that we walked away
Yeah,
from that area.
Sure.
Okay. When the coin was used, I heard its screams. It was like its soul had been used up, and it finally just got cut.
Well, that might be a relief if you're trapped in a coin, to be honest.
I suppose.
I'd probably rather face the void than, sit in some sweaty person's pocket for the rest of my life.
In a flesh bag.
Yes.
Well, they do need work, but I could probably fix them up again if Maggie would let us have one. It is a lot, and it's gonna look around. There's just like, as far as the eye can see, it's just lots of stuff right going on. We probably won't be able to get around on foot.
Well, precisely. I mean, I imagine there's probably going to be strings attached because of where we are, and that's simply how everything works. But, well, I don't see why not, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe she'll like Barnabas's new tooth enough to give us one. Suddenly spruced the place up a little bit.
It made me really happy that I got to at least use that. I don't think there's going to be much use for many amethysts down here.
Probably not.
So I guess we would just kind of chill unless anyone else has something to do.
As you say that, your brief respite brought to an end as 10 of those little fey gremlins, their hats, come walking up. One of them is the one that Cyrus received a finger from, and he leads this pack. He comes up to you in the group, the rest of his little mad and red-capped friends fanning out. Hey! Did you take my finger?
Oh my gods.
You gave me the finger.
I would never give you my most prized possession.
Actually, you would, because you did when I bested you by saying, no, you times infinity.
That is impossible! Rudy Redcap would never be bested in a battle of wits!
Want to
Cyrus,
bet?
just give them the finger back.
Oh, but best him again. Do it again. Just say no, you times infinity again.
And all the other little madcaps and redcaps are Rudy, Rudy, Rudy.
Fuck these guys.
Rudy, Rudy. Yes, yes, give me the finger back. I know you stole it. Look at you. You stink. You stink of angels.
That's rude.
So aggressive.
Did you know that the very person that you work for now used to be an angel?
Maggie's no angel. Maggie's no angel.
Yeah, and who does Maggie work for?
No one. No one. Maggie works for no one. Trick question. Trick question.
Cyrus, we want
Well-
them to stay with Maggie.
I see normal conversation does not work on you. So you know what? Here's what we'll do.
Rudy, Rudy. He pulls out his
You all are gonna shut
long,
up.
curved blade. Yes, yes. Give the finger back.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Ah, I know what we're going to do. I'm going to cut you up and take all of your fingers too.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna give you the finger back, and then you're gonna leave us alone.
Yes, finger back, finger back.
But you have to dance.
Oh, I don't like this.
Roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage due to you being exhausted. That's a 2. The rest of the madcaps and redcaps pull out their blades as well. And he goes, no, no, no. You dance for Rudy and give finger back.
God damn it.
All right. Let's meet in the middle. No one dances. I give you the finger back.
No. Dancing is now part of the deal. And he gives you this broken-toothed smirk.
This
One
entire time, I'm just looking at Francis like Jim looks at the camera in the office.
It's a
Slow
true meet
zoom
of
in.
minds.
Yeah, slow
A
zoom
true
in.
battle of wits.
Okay. I'm gonna say one moment, and I'm essentially going to attempt to walk around them, readying an action to blast them with radiant light if they try.
No.
to
These guys might be
Radiant
fucking
light.
like hard
No,
as
it's fine.
shit.
Give
That's
true
fine.
hell.
No, essentially I'm just walking towards Mickey.
Okay. You walk around them and, hey, 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 don't go anywhere. And they all like fan out around you. They like encircle you and just have their blades out like poking at you.
How tall are they?
Like gnome sized, maybe a little taller.
I have no idea how tall gnomes are.
2.5, 3 feet.
That's it?
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah, they're gnomes. They're tiny.
I could literally jump over them then.
Yeah, you can. You can certainly try.
What
They're
do you mean
holding
try?
knives.
And
Okay,
he
ants.
just and give them a finger.
No, they
He'll
don't.
give
they
him
don't
a
wanna-
finger,
they
all
don't-
right.
Just so
No, it's the principal thing now. They're being rude to me.
It was just murder the shit out of them.
I mean,
I'm
we
your
could.
pride, Cyrus. I don't want to cause a fuss, We need Mad Maggie's help, and these are her workers.
No, it's not about friggin'
Look,
pride. It's just like
they forgot.
they don't want the finger.
They forgot about giving you the finger, so you could just walk off, and in about 5 minutes, they likely will have forgotten.
That is true.
V's gonna have pulled out something and is like tinkering in the corner.
She's just done with my shenanigans. All right, yeah, I'm gonna walk over to Mickey and just be like, "Why do you let these things bother you?"
I wonder if Barnabas speaks Mickey.
Well, I didn't bring Barnabas with me, so.
No, it's just my own personal monologue.
Right. Did I get any of that?
He seems to be like a little resigned to it, kind of annoyed, but like, it's one of those that like you shrug and you say, well, that's just the way things are, you know?
Okay, so I'm gonna. Barnabas is Mickey's like large, right?
Yeah, Mickey's very big.
Okay, I'm gonna point at Mickey, and I'm gonna like raise my hand as high as I can. I'm gonna point at me and lower my hand. I'm gonna point at them and like lower my hand essentially to the ground, and then I'm just gonna laugh, and I'm just gonna step on the ground.
Step on the ground.
Yes, I'm implying they're small compared to us. They are not worth dealing with their harassment.
You're
trying
doing
to
all of this
empower-
like they're surrounding you right now, right? Like they've all got their blades out. They're surrounding you and Mickey.
Yep. As long as Mickey can see and kind of what I'm doing.
Iris has found his chosen people.
Yeah, weird
I'm not sure which one you're
things.
talking about. The little
Are you going
fellas
to
or him?
dance or not? Give us back the finger.
The tall one is talking. So
Cyrus, just give them the fucking finger. Damn your pride.
Oh,
they won't
one
accept the
cares.
finger.
Who
They won't accept the finger.
He snarls. He goes, we'll show you, tall. Kick him
Okay.
down to size, boys.
I'd just like to remind you all, I'm on Team Barnabas and have no side in this conflict.
V's gonna like stomp over and say, okay, enough, both of you. And she's gonna like there's like a little box thing, and she's gonna hand it to the head Redcap. Take this. It's magic from another plane.
Roll a persuasion check.
I don't
just
have
like
it.
A -2.
No,
Yeah,
You know,
it's a 1.
It's a 1. He looks at the box. Does it have my finger in it?
V, can it fit the finger inside?
No, we can't fit the. Why about the finger? Just give them the finger back.
They won't accept the finger, but maybe they'll
Give me the
accept it
finger.
if I
She's
put
like-
it in the
They
box.
will accept the finger.
she takes
They
it.
wouldn't have accepted the finger.
V takes the finger from Cyrus and then puts it on top, and then uses the finger to touch the little box.
Uh-huh.
And out suddenly there's like a bunch of little lights and like a little song that plays, and there's like a little tiny dancer that like dances and stuff. There's like little lights and dancing and stuff like that.
Magic
has
box!
this finger-
Magic finger!
It's yours. Just leave my friends alone. Okay? Deal?
Does he have the finger in his hand now?
Yeah.
He looks
Yes.
down at it. And he like keeps
You need the
poking
finger
box.
to open it.
Keeps doing the thing, and like everyone is like crowded around this here, and he looks up. His eyes narrow at Cyrus, and then he turns around and walks away. And so do the rest of the little red caps. Come on, boys, let's do some magic.
Before we leave Avernus, I'm gonna come back and kill all of these things.
Cyrus, we need them
Cyrus,
not.
why do you care? They're little idiots. Like
I
no one-
offered them the finger and they said no.
No, you got that
They
first.
said-
No,
you
you
had to
asked
get. You
them
had
to
to get.
dance.
Yeah,
They
you
said
had to
yes,
be a smartass about
and
it.
also dance.
Yeah, they would have accepted the finger.
Oh, Cyrus.
Oh, go
It's
fuck
okay.
yourself, Simon.
Cyrus's pride
He's
takes
gonna
us
sit back down.
to the end of our session today.
Oh.
When
There
we
you go.
come back next time, we are going to meet back up with Mama Maggie and figure out whether or not she's willing to give up some of these fucking war machines, and also whether or not she can get Lulu her memories back. So, thank you all for joining us for this romp through Avernus, this very, very fun time. And in the comments below, which team are you on? Are you also like Hugo on Team Barnabas, or are you like me and on Team Redcap because they're fucking hilarious?
I'm on Team Mickey.
I'm on Team Peace. I'm just trying to deal
There
with
is
this.
no peace in
There's
hell.
the children. The children are fighting.
Yeah, I hate this place. It's fucking shit.
Thanks for joining us on Descent to Avernus. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hey.